Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's class. As I said on Monday, today we're going to be going over some of your submissions um, from your in-course assignment. Groups are supposed to be doing short presentations based on what they would have submitted. Starting with group one, and we're ready to go. I'm not going to be on camera today because today we're doing reviews. So where is group one? We are ready to go. All right, let me pull up the groups list because since I have to call out names and I'm dealing with adults and I still have to call out people names, no problem. I can do that. Group one, Shauna K. Campbell, Giovanni Miller, Taja Winkle, Kevin Jackson, Kadisha Tucker, Tashika Thompson, Tamar Henry, Chantel Richardson, Chris Anthony Cruikshank, and Alexis Millwood. I don't think Chris Anthony Cruikshank is still in the course. Where are all you people? Guys, we're gonna have 3 hours of silence this morning because I would have already told you guys from Monday what was happening today and that you guys should have come prepared. So if nobody's prepared to present, we're gonna have 3 hours of silence that I'm gonna document and send to Kingston Creative and Heart. This don't make any sense to me. Where's group two? Is group two ready? Group two, Trishana Milton, Trishne Keene, Andreen Walker, Jeline Graham, Misha Gregg, Andre Heslop, Faith Chung, Janelle Francis, Kristen Reynolds, and Danielle Larmond. Group two, all right, let's do it this way. Which group is ready to present on what you guys would have already submitted? So this shouldn't really be a problem because you would have already submitted your assignments. So group 11 is ready to go. Okay, group 11, hold on. Who from group 11 will be sharing? Isha, okay. Isha, just a second. Isha, can you do the raise hand thing for me, please? Okay. All right, Isha, you should be able to share your screen now.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, fantastic. All right, so this is what we came up with for our. Is it too small?
It's
Are you
fine.
able to see?
You're
Oh,
gonna walk
fantastic.
us through.
No, I just want to
So
see.
so class, What we're going to
What
be
is
doing
that?
for group 11 is they're going to explain to us their objective, how that matches up with their KPIs and their metrics, and how it matches up with their content, etc. We're looking for cohesiveness. It just has to make sense to the objective that they have. So class, get ready to listen and give group 11 some constructive feedback. Are you ready, Isha?
Yes, I am.
All right,
And
over
I'm
to you.
grateful for the instruction that are given. So we didn't decide in the group who was going to share. So I hope I didn't step on anybody's toes, but I really want us to get a better understanding and to see how good we have done, how well we have done with the things that we came up with. So I'm going to just go straight across. So objective one was online reputation and brand building. And the aim is to build awareness of the club, to reestablish and build a strong online presence through using three social media platforms, and to revamp the website. Two KPIs associated with that is creating social media presence on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn in first quarter, refresh the content, look, and feel of the website in the first quarter. And two tracking metrics would be the click-through rate to website from social media platforms and qualified web traffic. Any input there?
Sorry, I was mute. So objective number one is online reputation and brand building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, but then the aim is to build awareness of the club, to
Mm-hmm.
re-establish and build a strong online presence through three social media platforms, and to revamp the website. But you pretty much said the same thing over in your KPIs,
Okay.
because the establish and build strong online presence is the same thing you said over here. The only difference is you just name the platform.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only. Can you remove that comment box, please? The only difference is you. Okay, so okay. The only difference is over in the KPIs. You would have Isha. What is a KPI?
The key performance indicator. So our take on it is what you're going to see happen to show that the objective is being met.
Isn't that what your metrics is?
Well, that's
Guys,
why it's
let's
good.
help.
That's why it's good
Let's
that
help
we are here.
Isha.
So
Guys,
thank
what
you.
did we say a KPI is? What is a KPI, guys? So we know that KPI is it means key performance indicator. But what did we say a KPI was? The KPI is a plan of how you will achieve your objective, an indicator of performance. That's why it's called a key performance indicator, Danielle. Anybody, what did we say a KPI was? In class 3, we looked at, was it class? When we were looking at developing business goals and digital objectives as part of our strategy elements, we were going through the different parts of your strategy, and we talked about identifying the right KPIs and metrics. You guys remember that? And we also talked about what is the difference between a KPI and a metric. All right. So Danielle, a KPI is not a metric. It is something you look at to know if your strategy is working. Yeah, it's a key performance indicator, and the performance is the strategy. You're looking at how your performance, the strategy is performing, sure. Um, a KPI is a measurement of how well an objective is doing, is it? Thank you, Anya. It's targets. Your KPI is a target. Targets that you are setting based on your business goal, from which you put together your targets, from which you put together your objectives and your metrics. Danielle Wilson says KPIs are ways in which you intend on tracking your target. No, Danielle, that's a metric. All right then. Isha, can you stop sharing for a minute? Don't go anywhere. Just stay right there. I want to share my screen. All right, guys. Remember, we went over this. And we said that both your KPI and your metrics are values, measurable values, that marketers use to determine if their campaigns or their strategies, as somebody rightfully said, is actually working. So if Isha said that one of their goals, or, well, not business goals, she already had the business goals. Now, from the business goals, she set some objectives. And what she said was, one of the objective is online reputation building. And what was the other one, Isha?
Sorry, Kadia?
What was the other? You said on reputation building, online reputation building, and what?
Give me just a sec. Reputation building, building awareness of the club, reestablish the
No.
website.
Objective number one. What was
Yes.
objective number one?
Online reputation and brand building. That was
Online reputation and brand building. So that's the objective that she has. Okay. And so what Isha should be telling me in terms of KPIs, what's the point of that objective? That objective must be able to get her closer to her target. So what is the target? What is the point of online reputation building and brand building online? What's the point of it? So that's why I said to you that you know your business goals, set your targets from which you set your objectives, and then your metrics to measure whether or not you are getting closer to the target. It's like a sales target, right? So that's what we discussed earlier. I don't know. Yes, Sandra, but the KPIs are not tracking as well as targets. They're the targets, and you use metrics to track the targets. Are you guys understanding what I am saying? So it's like you have 4 values. Look at it as 4 different values. The business goal is one value. Your targets is another value. Your objectives is another value. And your metrics is another value. These are 4 separate things that is all working together. Or let me take out business goals out of it. Your targets, your objective, and your metrics should work together to help you to get to that business goal. You're hearing background noise from Isha, but she's muted now. So once you know what your business goals are, it's like, again, it's the same analogy with your sales targets. The company wants to sell X amount of product by a certain time. That's the business goal. Then you set targets for each sales rep. So each sales rep have to sell 50,000 lip gloss by each month. Each sales rep have to sell 50,000 lip gloss each month. That's the KPI, that's the target, right? How are you going to get there? What are some objectives you can build around that? Well, in order to sell that, you may have to have an online presence. Yeah, you may have to have an e-commerce platform. So you have to set up an e-commerce platform. Yeah, you may have to get some influencer marketing in there, maybe some paid ads, right? What are the metrics that you're going to use to track that, to make sure that you're selling $50,000? Are they clicking on your links? Are they seeing your posts? Are they engaging with your content? Are they going to your landing page? If you put Facebook pics on your landing page, what is it telling you? Are people actually clicking on your ad? If nobody's clicking on your ad, that may mean that they're not seeing your ad, which may mean that the audience that you set up in your ad may not be correct. Or it may be that your ad budget is too low in a highly competitive, when the audience is competitive, your ads budget may be too low, you're being outbidded. That's what I'm talking about, guys. So both your objective and your KPI flows from your business goals. And the objective that we're talking about here is your digital objective. What are the things you are going to be going online to do? And how can those things help get you to the target? And how are you going to track whether or not those things are actually getting you closer to your target? Is this any clearer? Talk to me, guys.
To be honest, Kedia, I would love if you could help me, because it's not very clear for me. So
Okay.
based on what I have, this has been a challenge for me for a while.
No, don't
So
tell
I
me about
really
the
would
challenge for you,
no no
Isha.
no.
Tell
I'm
me
going to
what is not clear. Let's start
I
there.
love to show you what we have now, and we work on one so that I can have a clearer understanding of it.
No, tell me what is not clear.
Right.
Because
So
we are working on yours, because we're
yeah,
talking
man. So the
what
way
is not clear.
I presented it, I need more hand-holding and guidance with it. And that's what I'm asking for.
It is
So based on what we're
impossible to.
showing,
I'm
man,
sorry,
based on
let
what
me
I'm
not cut
showing,
you.
Keda, yes, please, I appreciate it. So based on what I'm sharing, just wanted to say, all right, Isha, this part is good. This makes sense. This is how we make the KPI part make sense, and the other part, so that I'll have a clear understanding. That's what I am asking.
I would love to be able to do that, Isha.
Right.
But it is impossible for me to do that for every single group here or for every person here. It's a 7-week course.
No, man,
And the
I can
other thing
appreciate
too
that.
is there are resources that I have given to you guys, and there are online resources. You guys have the video that you could have gone and watched the playback of. So it is hard for me to accept that I'm actually not clear, especially when every single class I say to you guys, is there anything you want me to go over? Is there anything you don't understand from any classes that we've had so far? And nobody responds. And now, at the moment where you're supposed to submit your assignment, I'm hearing persons telling me they're not clear on something. Now, imagine how frustrating that can be, not just for me, but then for the entire class. Because we are ahead, but clearly not everybody is on the same page, and some people are being left behind and not saying they're being left behind until it is too late to save them. You understand what I mean, Isha? This is not somewhere where we should be stuck at this point. This was the third class. The third class, and not only that, we have discussed KPIs and metrics several times. Several times we've actually discussed it. Couple classes ago, we were talking about KPIs and metrics. So, here we said metrics and KPIs are determined based on specific business goals, the strategy, and even the specific tactics that you are going to use to make sure that your strategy is working. So are you going to do an organic? Are you going to have an organic based strategy, or a paid strategy, or a combination of both, a more integrated strategy, an offline and an online strategy? And then what is the offline strategy? Well, we're going to put up a billboard, we're going to go on radio, we're going to go on CVM at Sunrise, we're going to get speaking in gigs. These are tactics that and the tactics are really the activities that you're going to be doing under this strategy to ensure that you're getting to where you need to get, right? So if we switch to the next slide and we're looking at what are KPIs, we talked about it being a measurable value that determines your, and then notice what this says: a quantifiable measure of performance over time for a specific objective, right? So what you're doing is, what you need to know what is the desired level of performance, and then how are you going to track the progress against that target. So what are some examples of KPI? Monthly website traffic, number of qualified leads, CTA conversion rate. So you are not just at base level where you're looking at, oh, I need to get X amount of followers. What's the point of getting X amount of followers? Well, I am trying to get 500 people to sign up for a workshop, right? In order to attract 500 people, I may need to get probably 2,000 people to go to my landing page. To get 2,000 people to go to my landing page, that traffic has to be coming from somewhere. So if the traffic is going to come from social media, I need to build a social media presence. I need to build awareness around that. I probably need to create content that makes sense to this audience that I'm trying to reach. I need to have strong call to action, right? I need to have a strategy for conversion. So once they get to the landing page, what do I want them to do? How am I going to get them to take that action? I may want to put Facebook pixel on that landing page, or Facebook can tell me who is coming from my Facebook ad. If they took an action, if they didn't take an action, if they didn't take an action, how am I going to retarget them? Right? The KPI still remains, you need 500 people to sign up for a workshop. Right? The objective is to build awareness around your brand, around you as an educator. Or say, for instance, it's Heart, and Heart is new. Okay, so Heart needs to build awareness. It needs to talk about how wonderful their teachers are, how qualified and experienced their teachers are, how you're going to get a Heart certification. Well, let's not talk about Heart. Heart is an established institution. Say me. Put me as an example. Right? Kadia wants to teach. She wants to teach digital literacy, digital marketing, social media marketing. What does she have to do to become the go-to person to instruct on digital literacy, digital marketing, and social media marketing? The goal for Kadia Francis is to teach, say, 5,000 students between 2021 and 2022. That's the target. That's a target. Let's just put that as a target. The goal is to become the go-to person in the space locally, wherever it comes to digital literacy, social media, digital communication. My goal is to establish myself as an expert or a specialist or somebody with special knowledge in these areas. That's the goal. The target that I have for myself in 2022 is to teach 2,500 students, because teaching 2,500 students at X amount of money per workshop can net me $2 million. Okay? So let's say another one of my business goals is to make $2 million in 2022. My target is to get 25,000 students, 2,500 students through 5 workshops in 2022. That's my target. What are some of the objectives? What is the point of that? Or how am I going to get to that? Let's just say. Okay, so these are some of my objectives. I need to establish a social media presence. I need to establish a blog where I'm talking about branding and social media and digital literacy. I need to get some of those blog posts in the newspaper to add legitimacy to my brand. I need to do some speaking engagements. I need to do the rounds. I need to speak at UA. I need to go on CVM at Sunrise to talk about how great I am. Or if they want an expert to come and talk about what's happening in the world of social media, then I'm the one that they're going to call. So I need to establish myself on social media, on LinkedIn. I need to build up my professional website with my blog where I'm discussing all of these things. Probably throw like a podcast in there to exercise my expertise in a long format, with long format content, right? I need to maybe put out proof of my expertise, like have I taught before? Am I certified? Do I have any qualifications in this area? Okay, I'm a heart instructor. That goes a long way. Heart is an established institution, so I'm piggybacking off of Heart's good name, right? I have a degree, right? I've taught in several programs. I've spoken at the UN, right? I've spoken for UN Women, right? All of these things I'm putting out there. So that's a part of my building my online presence. But I have an offline strategy too, which is the speaking engagement, which is speaking on television about anytime this subject matter comes up, being the one to go on the television or to go on the radio. That's my offline strategy. Another offline strategy I may have is to publish. So I have online objectives that I'm trying to reach, which is building my online presence, establishing my thought leadership through my blog and my podcast, as well as my offline objectives, which is to make sure that I'm the one they call when they need an expert, whether radio or TV, as well as to get my articles published in the newspaper. All of these objectives will lead me back to the target, which is getting students to sign up for my workshops. How am I going to measure any of this? One of the measurements I can use is my followership, but followership alone doesn't say anything. But if my followership is up and my engagement is commensurate to my followership, it means that I'm doing something right, because people are following me for the right reasons. They're not just following for following's sake. They're following, they're engaging, I'm building community. Right? How many people sign up for my Facebook group? That's a metric. How much people sign up? Because guys, metric is just data. It's just data that is telling me things. So the data is telling me that X amount of people is signing up to your platform per week. X amount of people is joining your Facebook group per week. X amount of people is engaging with you on this platform. X amount of people is clicking on your links and going to your website and reading your blog. X amount of people sharing your blog post or sharing your podcast post around the internet. These are all, this is information, these are metrics that I can use. So how much people sharing my platform, my blogs, that's one metric. How many people listening to my podcast, that's one metric. Where are those people that are listening to my podcast? Are they in my, are they geographically relevant to me? Are they demographically relevant to me? That's metrics. I think you guys overthink the thing too much. If we get rid of, and it's the same thing I was saying yesterday, if we get rid of the highfalutin terminology, all we come down to is what you want to achieve, how you're going to achieve it, and how are you going to know if you're getting to your goal. Or how do you know that the things that you're doing is getting you to what you want to achieve? That's all we're saying. That's all we are saying. What I can't do, Isha, is say to you specifically that, yeah, this KPI is right because this is a class assignment. If I do that for you, I have to do that for everybody. And that defeats the purpose of you guys learning how to do it yourself. Right? Let's continue. KPIs versus metrics. So KPIs are business outcomes or goals. So remember we said that both your objective and your KPI should flow from your business goals. Well, if you get to your target, then you are effectively getting to your goal, right? So KPIs are outcomes or goals, while metrics are data points in our funnels or analytic platforms that help us determine whether that goal has been met. Right? Because if you're looking at your metrics and you, because one of the metrics you guys have is that you need X amount of followers by a certain time. I think that was one of your KPIs. Not sure why that is a target. Why is that a target? And question, Isha, question. That target is based on which goal that the club has. Because I kept saying to you guys, and let me bring this up real quick. Guys, if I sound annoyed, forgive me. I don't mean to sound annoyed. I am just a bit taken aback. But let me bring up the assignment, the in-course assignment. Let me bring that back up and share. Just a minute, guys. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, let's go over this one more time. I'm not disappointed. I'm more annoyed because I keep saying to you guys, if there's anything at all you don't understand, let me know. Let me know. And you guys say, yeah, man, gonna get it and blah blah blah, but clearly you don't get it, okay? And it's I'm annoyed for you because you're sitting there not saying anything when there are things you don't understand. And I'm saying I don't see the point of you dedicating 3 hours on a Monday and a Wednesday and then leave not understanding what was said. It's a waste of time for you. So it's not disappointment. It's just a little bit of frustration mixed with annoyance, mixed with some incredulity. Because I'm like, guys, I've been asking. We have our chat. That you guys are not asking questions in the group chat. Anyways, moving on. Okay. Let's not flog a dead horse. Okay, guys, let's go over the course assignment one more time. I'm going to read through it one more time. Because as I keep saying to you guys, everything that you need to know is in here. Everything that you need to be able to put a strategy together is in here. Let me tell you something. This is more than what I have had to work with some actual clients. Okay, this is way more information that I would have had to work with some clients. So let's go. So there's a club, the Lingdom Variety Club. They're a non-profit organization founded in 1998 by Dr. Edna Pearl. She's the first woman CEO of a legacy company in Jamaica. What is a legacy company, guys? What do I mean by legacy company? Anybody? Well established, but not just well, company operating more than 25 years. Yes. A company that has been around for a very, very, very long time, and they become almost like a fabric of society, right? So a legacy company, guys, now that we know what a legacy company is, can you guys name any local legacy company? I can think of 4 right off the bat. Grace, Lasco's been around that long? Lasco's been around that long? Sorry, guys, over 25 years locally. So I have a lot of companies celebrating 100 years, 100 and odd years. NCB, Ray and Neville. KB Wallace is not a local company. National Bakery, Benjamin's, Flo. Yeah, so you guys understand. D&G, Red Stripe, right? We have some legacy brands, some legacy companies in Jamaica, right? Yes, we do. Been around for more than 25 years, right? Older than me and you. Okay. I don't think Wizinka is that old. Well, it's no longer D&G, but, you know. All right, guys. Captain's Bakery is not that old. Appleton, Cable and Wireless is not a local company. I don't know what profile sweep you did on them. Cable and Wireless is not a local company. In fact, the name Cable and Wireless alone is not even local. Now, that company has changed hands a million times and been bought a gazillion times, but the Cable and Wireless, that brand is not local. The brand Cable and Wireless is not local. They have been bought out by local entities, and not necessarily a regional entity, and then acquired by a local entity. But the name Cable and Wireless is not local, guys. Okay? So I'm not sure what you did in your econ bias sweep. I mean, what was the result of it? Digicel is not a local company. It's operated locally. Digicel is not a local company. Exactly. The parent company muscle is Irish. So you guys need to know the difference. So the brand, so they've established a company here, and the name of the company or the brand is Cable and Wireless, but the brand is owned by Muscle, which is not a local company. So I don't consider that a local company. It's the same thing with Cable and Wireless. It's the same thing with Quartz. Quartz is not necessarily a local company either. Quartz is owned by, what's the name? Unicomer, I think. Although I think, they got bought out recently. By recently, I mean a couple years now. Right? So I don't think there is Unicomer that owns Quartz anymore. But Unicomer is a British company. Right? Guys, out of this entire list, I think Grace is probably the quintessential legacy brand. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, Grace is still locally owned. If I'm not mistaken, because y'all know how these things go. I don't want to put any, stake on it and say it with my whole chest. But I do think Grace is still locally owned. Teagaddy's Grant is local. Miracle is local. Not sure. Anyways, guys, so you guys understand legacy brands. Great. You understand legacy. You understand legacy companies, legacy brands, whatever. Okay. So Dr. Edna Pearl started this company because this club because I figure she realized how difficult it was as a woman for her to get to. Uh, um, yes, Juicy is older than Grace. Juicy is. I didn't realize Juicy was that old. But yeah, Juicy is older than Grace, I think, too, Andrine. And I think they're still local. I think they're still locally owned. Right. So the club has 30 members. All are executive. All are women executive, right? And what the club is intended to do is to train, is to attract and train promising up and coming young women in business and leadership skills development. So young women that they see that have promise, they want to train them to become business leaders and help them develop leadership skills, right? But membership to the club has been static for a while, right? You know, these clubs founded in 1998. That's what? How much years ago that now? My math's not good. 2 years from 2000. So 24 years. 24 years ago, right? Young up and coming women may not be attracted to like a club like that. They may not even know about it, right? And so for whatever reason, it has been static. And now the club is exploring ways to attract more women, which is why they recently launched a new initiative called the Women in Leadership Internship Program. Now, what I find interesting is looking through some of these assignments, and none of you mentioned the program. Well, I think one or two may have, but most of you did not mention the program. I see no content about the program. Nobody used the program as a content pillar. Nobody used the program as part of an objective or as part of your KPI. It literally said they recently launched a new initiative. You guys don't see that is a KPI? Okay. The program places mentees in organizations where they will shadow and learn from a mentor. And the initiative is meant to attract both mentors, which is the leaders, and mentees to the club. So the club have a stagnant membership, probably an aging membership. So they want to attract more women in executive, maybe younger women, and then that they're going to use that to attract. Guys, there should be no activities going on in the groups right now. I need you guys to be paying attention here. Please, I beg you. Okay? And so attracting younger women in leadership can also attract mentees, right? Because there's the relatability factor, there's the experiential factor, there's all of that, right? So as part of the drive, the club has started to explore new avenues to promote their work, increase awareness of the club and their programs to attract sponsorship as well as recruit members. Let me read that part again. As part of the drive, the club has started to explore new avenues to promote their work, increase awareness, which all of y'all have latched onto, and attract sponsorship. But I want you guys to pay attention to the promote their work. Guys, how would the club promote their work? Give me some examples of the things that this club can do to promote their work. Let's go. Let's hear some of the brilliant ideas now. Let's go.
Becoming thought leaders on LinkedIn, using their social media pages to show activities that they're involved with and the history of the club.
And what, sorry, what was that last part?
Use social media pages to show the history of the club or the activities that the club is contributing to.
Okay, so use social media to show activities that the companies are involved in, like what?
Any major initiatives that they have been a part of? And I was saying something about thought leadership on LinkedIn. Are they're using their same pages for that as well? Using social media pages for that as well.
All right. So Isha says use their social media to talk about the work that they've been, the activities that they do, including maybe some of their initiatives, and establish their thought leadership on LinkedIn. Anybody else? Yannick says they can have interviews with mentors and previous mentees, speak on their experience. Guys, put yourself in the position of a mentee and a mentor. What would make this club more attractive to you? So let's go back to what Isha said. Talking about the activities that they're involved in, would that make that club more interesting to you? Having interviews with previous mentors and mentees and they're talking about their experience, would that make this club more attractive to you? Because it wouldn't for me. It would just be another club talking about the things that they do. They're trying to reach young women. Young women. What would make this more attractive to young women? Maybe we first need to identify what do we mean by young women. So let's say, for instance, if we're talking about, because I said promising, so promising, you know, like usually when CXC come around and you see the papers start to interview these young girls who get like 5 million CXCs and 3 million A levels, and you know them promising, right? Or these university students who may be in a research program who wrote a really brilliant paper, a real great dissertation, a young PhD student. It could be a very wide range of people. So let's say the club is targeting university students, because maybe high school students, probably too young, but the club may have a high school program. That's an idea, guys. I want you to think outside of the box. The club may have a high school program to help mentor children, mentor young girls in high school in terms of career mentorship. Is it because it aligns with the whole idea of business and leadership skills, right? Doesn't it? So, Christine says, do talks in schools to like we inspire women. Yes, go to schools. Do a school tour where you're going to the different schools or the different universities. Universities have orientation week, right? Where else would you go, guys? Get a famous person, ask them to be a club brand ambassador. Would that really work though? If the famous person was never in this club and they're just an ambassador for the club? Suppose the famous person came from the club. The club was why they got famous. The club helped them with their mentorship and their skills development, and they got a big job and they're killing it in the big job. Anna K says the mentee progressed through the various steps and where they are now. That's compelling, I think. Have a brunch. I mean, having a brunch is a show thing if you want to raise sponsorship. So sure. Ha! Hear what Amaria says. Amaria says advertise the sponsorship via all girls' school social media pages to try and get the current promotion out. And who's the target market, which is young women. That's an idea. Do club competition that target mentees. Okay, Christine, what would the competition be about? We're warming up. Church women group. Okay. That can go on. Andreen says she wants to see how they can help her create connections in her industry. Me want to see that to Andreen. I want to see that too. Andreen, how can they do that? What would you like to see? What would that look like in terms of content, Andreen? Christine, what would the competition look like? What's the competition? Isha, I hope you're paying attention. Okay, I hope all of you guys are paying attention because you see what you guys are coming up with. Okay. Now, guys, remember, we're still only at promote their work. Now, guys, there's something fundamental that you guys seem to be missing. Let me go back to the very first line. The Lignum Vitae Women's Club is a non-profit organization founded in 1998 by Dr. Edna Pearl, the first woman CEO of a legacy company in Jamaica. You guys don't think that that's a massive selling point? The first woman CEO? And you guys don't see that as a massive selling point? When I done blast Dr. Edna Pearl business all over the internet, this is a legacy. This is an amazing legacy. You guys need to talk more about that. How are you going to leverage that amazing legacy to rebuild the Lignum Vitae Club? How are you going to use Dr. Edna Pearl's legacy? Every birthday, there's going to be a commemoration. Every anniversary, there's going to be a commemoration. Has she written any books? There's going to be book quotes all over the internet. And I'm sure in the sample I showed you guys, in the sample I showed you guys, let me go back and show you something. Let me show you something. Y'all ain't paying attention. Okay, look at this. Look at this. You should use relevant quotes or excerpts from your books to punctuate and emphasize your story. Guys, it they write this so in the sample document when we give you. Write this so. Alternatively, this could be multiple shorter video snippets from existing interview, workshop, etc. that you have done. It they write this so. Repurposing podcasts, radio, TV interviews you have done around a specific message that is relevant. Dr. Edna Pearl never done a TV interview. She never done a radio interview. Una must have these archived because it's her club. So why not pull up a black and white of Dr. Edna Pearl? Well, TV never black and white in 1998. I think it did color. Pull up a 1998 TVJ, which was at the time. What was TVJ before it was TVJ? And a PBC. What was TVJ before it was TVJ, guys? JBC. Pull up an old JBC interview with Dr. Edna Pearl. I talk about women in leadership. And then do something about how something that she said 20 odd years ago, how it is still relevant to young women these days. And how your club plans to build on that legacy. Y'all ain't thinking. Y'all ain't thinking. And this is why I keep telling you guys, go and look at what other clubs are doing. Kristen says peer programs, almost like a match series mentor with mentee specific organizations. But Kristen, isn't that what this initiative is? Mentees in organization where they will shut down. That's exactly what this initiative is, Kristen. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Them already have an initiative. An awards program, Sandra, people love go on stage, God collect prize and skin them teeth in a pretty frack. Yes. An awards program, an awards ceremony or event where you can get big sponsorship for coming because them want to look at them and support women too. Guys, there's a reason why I said that it was a women's club. If you guys, I want to show you guys something. Una still the pan it was TVJ Supreme. I move on from that. I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys something real quick. Real quick. Let's do a hashtag search, shall we? All right. Hashtag women supporting women. 17 million posts. Women empowerment. 21 million posts. Women in business. 19 million posts. Just women, 67 million posts. But let's go a little bit further. Let's put women in. Women in business, 19,775, whatever. Women in biz, women inspiring women, women in tech, women in STEM, women in film. Let's go women owned. Women owned, 1 million. Women owned businesses, 2 million. Women owned small businesses, 217 million. Women owned businesses. I hope when I get what I'm trying to put. I want when I pick up what I'm trying to put down. All right, then let's do another one. Women in leadership, 532,626. 23. Women leaders, 646. Women leadership, 173. Women leadership forum. Women CEO. Are you guys picking up what I'm trying to put down here? If you guys had done your research, like proper research, the hashtags alone would have given you guys ideas. All right, because let's go back to just women. Yeah? Let's go to women supporting women and look at some of the posts under the hashtag. I'll be blunt. You're either in a place where you can comfortably leave your company for a few weeks without any breaking, or, right? Just look at the post under the hashtags, guys. Inspirational quotes. This is the one, this one lady of Bible talking about women and business. In fact, let's do the women in business one. Let's look at women owned. And remember, this hashtag is just women. We're not type female yet. Okay, women owned. Unique annual Markets for Makers event returns to Chicago this weekend. A woman no longer gets upset or frustrated with you. It's still a kind of same empowerment thing, showing their products. Some of these people misuse this hashtag greatly, but you guys can kind of pretty much see. Inspire virtual event, women's business conference. Look at that, an idea for an event just from a hashtag. Okay, let's see if we find Women's Business Center San Diego. Maritza Isabel businesses to connect people. So this looks like a member spotlight. Let's look at their page. Women's Business Center. These are some of the things that they post. First of all, let's go here. I don't know what that is. Let's go back. We're doing a search. General Federation of Women's Clubs. Okay. Living the volunteer spirit. Okay, let's see if these people have socials. Oh, look, they do. The official Instagram of the General Federation of Women's Clubs. Okay. Picture with the Prime Minister. Well, President. I'm sure Dr. Edna Pearl, the picture with Prime Minister. Quotes from famous women. What else? Let's go back. Let's look for some more clubs. Let's look for some more things. The Women's Club of, this is Australia now. Oh, UN Women's page. How much I want to go and went on the UN Women's page? Do these people have socials? Not seeing their socials. Let's go to contact and see if they have any socials. I'm not seeing any socials for them. All right, somebody says to go on UN Women's page. Okay, let's do that. Let's Google UN Women. They're on Twitter. What are they posting? Pretty much the same thing. Quotes and video snippets from women. Blah, blah, blah. Pretty much what you'd expect from a women's organizations or women's based organization. Somebody says most powerful women conference. Is that a thing? Most powerful women summit. Is there a social media page attached to this where we can see this? Oh, that's one. So Fortune does a most powerful, the most prominent women in the future, Fortune 500 company. Okay, so this is leadership. So leading female founders and leaders from the world of politics, the arts, and NGO. Okay, so it's Fortune. Okay, so it's Fortune. Okay, and they have summits, and I suspect. Oh, Melody Hobson, look at that. Melody Hobson is amazeballs. Do they have socials? Sandra, do they have socials? Let's just look for Fortune. Baby Fortune Mag. See it here, most powerful women. Okay. Guys, I think I've made my point though, haven't I? You guys are not you're not doing the research that will enable you to formulate ideas about how you can actually, they're coming to you as marketers. You're marketing this thing, right? So it's not just, it can be, there's a laissez-faire approach that doesn't work, right? Because nobody, as I said in the class yesterday, without data, you're pretty much asking them to pay you to guess when you don't have to guess, right? So they have a limited presence on social media and a website that has not been updated in over a year. That should tell you what priorities should be. However, they do have an active email newsletter that is distributed weekly, but the data shows the email does not have a high open rate. So they have come to you because they want to work, you want you to work with them to develop a comprehensive digital strategy to reestablish and build a strong. So guys, on a real, I said these are the goals, right? These are the goals. Re-establish and being a strong online presence, build awareness of the club, engage mentees, recruit new members, attract sponsorship, improve email campaigns. I even said it here. Given the stated goals, you are to use the digital strategy template to complete the assignment below. Outline 4 objectives. Just 4. 2 KPIs and 2 tracking metrics. The objectives must have to tie back to this, and so would your targets. Your targets must have to tie back to the goals. So I'm going back to Isha because I want Isha to tell me. Let me stop sharing. I see somebody with their hands up. Misha, you had something to say? Misha, Greg, you have something to say? No? Okay. Sorry, I think somebody else had put their hand up and I accidentally lowered their hand. Who else had their hand up? Who else had their hand up? Nobody? Okay. Isha, are you still there? Isha, are you still here?
I am.
Okay. Can you share again, please?
Sure. Just a moment. There you go.
All right. So let's look at objective number 1. Tell me which club goal is objective number 1 attached to?
Increasing awareness and promoting the work.
Increasing awareness on what?
Promoting the work that they do.
That was not a goal.
Okay.
Promoting their work was not a goal. That's a tactic or part of as part of your strategy. That wasn't a goal. So we have 6 goals: reestablish and build strong online presence, build awareness of the club, engage mentees, recruit new members, attract sponsorship, and improve email campaigns. So you said this one is build awareness of the club, to
Increase awareness,
reestablish
sure.
and build a strong online presence, and to revamp the website. So what does that have to do with online reputation and brand building? I don't understand your title. But anyways, so your KPI says create strong social media presence on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn in first quarter. Why is that a KPI? Why is that a target?
Why is this a target to
Yeah,
increase the social media presence?
Yeah, why is that a target?
In order to bring the awareness, we're going to utilize the social media spaces to do that. You said something about the website needing to be revamped, and so that's why we're refreshing the content of it. And the look.
Okay. So what is the point of awareness, Isha?
We're trying to attract more members to the club and sponsors as well, and for other persons to know that we exist and we are trying to make a change in the public space.
Who's your target audience?
Young women aged 18 to 45, I believe we had said.
18 to 45.
I think we had said 35 is here. 18 to 35.
Guys, who is the target audience for Lignum Vitae Club? Who is the target audience for Lignum Vitae Club, guys? Isha, you're showing your Gmail. Yeah. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Kimberly. There's actually more than one target audience. In fact, there are three. There are three target audiences. You have mentees, mentors, and sponsors. No, I did not specifically go into age group and stuff. This is what you're supposed to do. But I gave you three categories. I said mentors, mentees, sponsors. So there are actually three. If so this 18 to 35 age group is who? Isha, which one of those categories?
It would have been within the mentee and mentors group.
18 to 35 in a mentors group, 18-year-olds who are C-suite level executives.
And that's what the group had come up with. So I'm presenting what we had.
Okay, but what was the thought process behind it?
That's a grouping that we came up with. So
I
that's an
understand that,
error,
but
right?
what was the
I can't
thought
speak for all
process?
of them because I was saying another age group, but this is what the group agreed on. So we stand corrected and we thank you for your guidance.
I know, Isha, that seems a little bit passive aggressive to me, but I'm gonna let it go because I know you're in the hot seat. Guys, let's go back and look at the don't stop presenting, Isha. Keep it up. So if we go back and look at the assignment, we said training promising up and coming young women in business and leadership skills development, right? That's what we had said. We also said that there are 30 members right now who are all C-suite level professionals. Guys, who are C-suite level professionals? I see a hand. Oh, the lower the hand. Who are C-suite level professional, guys? What does C-suite means? Right, CEOs, CFOs, COOs. Thank you. Great. Guys, how long do you think it takes a professional woman to get to C-suite level? You don't know? No problem. We can Google it. If you plan to become a C-suite level executive through internal promotion, you need to work for the same company for at least 15 years. So you need to be in that company for 15 years if you're going in by internal promotion. But even if you're not going in by internal promotion, they're hiring you. That means you need to at least have 15 years of experience. At least. Asha said no, to be honest. Asha, why do you say no? So guys, if we're saying that on average, because we're not saying that's the case for everybody. Oh, you weren't responding to me. You were responding to what Yannick said? Okay. Kimberly says the anomaly can be for family-owned companies where some persons enter. Guys, you see, we always go to the extreme or the anomalies. We're not talking about extremes or anomalies, guys. How many companies like that do we have in Jamaica? Or anywhere else for that matter? All right. Let's say it's a family-owned company. Let's take Sandals. Adam Stewart is how much? Adam Stewart is how much? Adam Stewart did not start as CEO. Adam Stewart did not start as CEO. Adam, Tanisha, late 30s. And he started working for the company when? Before him turned 20. At least 15 years of experience still. Yeah, we're still right there, guys. We're still right there. We're still right there. We're still right at the point where we're saying, on average, at least 15 years of experience in the company, working for the company. He did not start as CEO. He never even started in a top level position. No. Late 30s, guys. Late 30s. Late 30s. And I never said anything about age. I said experience. I said experience. So if we're looking to define target audience and we're using age as a demographic, and we're saying on average 15 years is required. And guys, we're not even taking into account the foolishness because woman and how hard it is for a woman to get to that level. We're not even taking that into account. Let's say the world is fair and Donkey actually said the world level. Let's pretend. An average 15 years of experience to get to C-suite level. Which means that if, say on average, you leave university, because you have to have a university education. When he joined the company full time. And we all know group manager can just be a title. But we're not, Dana, honestly, this is what you guys continuously do. I say something to illustrate something and you guys go into this nitty gritty. The point is he did not start out as CEO and he did not start out as in a top level position in the company. And Adam Stewart, even though he's still relatively young, he still had more than 15 years experience when he became CEO. That's the point I am making. So thanks for that, Dana. And thanks for the input, everybody, and Kimberly and stuff. The point we're still at is average 15 years experience. I realize, Dana. Average 15 years experience. Say you will leave university at 22. Say you leave university at 22. That means you have to, what, 37? We're trying to work out, guys, target audience now. By demographic. And let's say it's an age demographic. You're looking at minimum 35. Minimum 35. I'd say lower by miracle. You have some people who are just brilliant and just very lucky or have just really great networks because of connections or otherwise. Yeah. Some people are just very pretty. It happens. Right? So you have to have a university education. You have to have some kind of qualification. This is not one of them jobs where you can just go on social media and talk. You have to have something backing that up. So guys, let's say 35 to 50. Because you still want them to be relatable, but you don't just want young women who are just starting out at C-suite level because that experience hasn't built yet. So you want to mix it up with just starting, been in the game a little while, veterans. Yeah? Kind of want to mix it up. So these mentors are kind of seeing the progression. then, right? So let's say 35 to 50. That's what, 15 years? Yeah, 15 years. That's not bad. When I give a talk about Jamaica, because but say 15 years, right? So let's, you see, me I do the homework for now. So let's say the target audience for your mentors is 35 to 50. Your mentees, let's say you split that up too between high school students and university students. With the high school students, you're probably just doing a mentorship thing. With the university students, you're just doing an internship thing. Now it's funny because if you go back and look at the initiative, it says internship programs. Guys, high school students don't do internships necessarily. Well, technically, right? They could. But in this instance, internship to be a leader in a business? No, that sounds like a university student to me. University students' average age is, okay, I would give you 18 to about 25, even 30. I would say 18 to 30. Say the club have a limit. Let's say the club have a top limit. Let's say the club says for our mentees, we want to cap it at 25. Because clubs can do that. Between 16 to 25. That's 11 years. Because we want to help them choose the subjects that they're gonna we want to help them create a career path for themselves so they can choose the right subjects in university so they can get the right kind of opportunities. You're helping them build their networks because the club can help expose them to these networks. They probably can do summer programs at the club. This is a part of promoting the club's work, right? It could be summer internships for the younger ones and job internships for the bigger ones. Guys, that was left up to you to figure out and decide for yourselves, which is why I kept saying to you guys, it's not what I think, is what you come up with, and if it makes sense, if it's cohesive, if it aligns. Because if one of you had come to me and said, okay, we're going to split our mentees into two groups, 16 to 20, 20 to 25. Where are you going to find 16 to 20-year-olds nowadays, guys? Where do you find 16 to 20-year-olds nowadays? Isha, where do you find 16 to 20-year-olds nowadays?
You mean online? That's TikTok was the first thing that came to mind.
TikTok,
Online or
okay.
physical space. Yeah.
Instagram, okay. Claudia says, what about introducing a new target age group of 25, 35? Those are, what about it, Claudia? Is that a part of your tactic or your strategy? You let me know. You let me know. That's what you need to figure out as the marketer. I would say stick to what the assignment is asking you to do, because that would be you doing extra work for something that the client never really asked you for. So, but sure, I guess if that's how you want to split your target audience, guys, it just has to make sense. The club, it's very specific. They have a leadership internship program. C-suite level professional. These are all clues, guys, as to who the club is targeting. That was the only other thing I could have done was saying they're targeting 25 to 30-year-old women who the only other thing I could have done was actually giving you the information myself, which would have defeated the purpose. So you're saying, okay, 16 to 20, 20 to 25. One is a summer program, one is a summer internship, one is a job internship. How are we going to get 16 to 20-year-olds interested in a summer internship, guys? How are you going to put that across to them in a way that makes sense to them, that is attractive to them? Let's think like 16-year-old girls. How are we going to put put this to them to say, hey, join our summer internship programs. How are you going to reach 16-year-old girls, guys?
Yeah. Personally, I would be talking about independence because that was what was important to me at that time.
Sorry, Aisha, what was that?
I'll be talking about independence, so having money for themselves, so learning how to present themselves can help them to become more independent and being able to
Okay.
create,
Independent from whom, Isha?
and then from their parents and the pressures of the world and man.
Exactly. Independent from them who, Isha?
Parents and attack on man.
Them parents are guardians, don't. So what is the best way to reach 16-year-olds, Isha?
I don't know, as I say, using
Parents
the social
and guardians. You
I
cannot
don't
get
know
a
want
16-year-old
guidance
to
from
go to a
them.
job without the permission of them parent or
This is true.
guardian.
It's true.
So how else you know go and get through to them? The most through them parents or guardians, guys? Because even if you're appealing to their need to make money or independence, them still need permission from them parents and guardians, no? And who do you guys think are out there looking for opportunities for their young children, for their teens? Parents, guardians, yes? Because Dana, even if it goes through the school, they still have to get permission from whom? The school still has to get permission from whom, guys? Parents and guardians. So we'll come back to parents and guardians. So you are targeting parents and guardians to say we have this amazing program. We're running it through the schools. Yes, Sandra. We're running it through the schools. If your students sign up for our Women in Leadership Club at St. Andrews High School, she has an opportunity to get a summer internship program. Which parents are going to say, no? Which one? And it's free, and I'm going to pay them. Hello? That's how it works, guys. When it comes to children, you don't necessarily 16-year-old is a child. You don't first of all, there's laws against direct advertising to children. That's one. And two, there are ways that you can go about doing it. You go through the schools. You go through the churches. Just putting it out on TikTok is not effective enough. Guys, remember we talk about offline strategies as well? This could be an offline strategy that could be you go to the churches, you go to the schools, and once you talk to the principal, and the principal say, yes, we're part of this program, that is what you put online. Through key clubs and Rotary clubs and all these clubs. You guys need to think. Yes, so the ideas are coming out here, so no? The target audience will be 18 to 35 with the mentees, and the mentors will be the ones who... Why would you go all the way up to 35? So I'm a 35-year-old C-suite level executive, and my mentee is a 35-year-old? Marcelia, tell me what sense that make. That's why these clubs have limit. Yes, it could be a late bloomer, but is this late bloomer malleable? You're trying to teach them a specific thing. Is this late bloomer malleable? Is this late bloomer going to want to be in? And this is another thing. Is this late bloomer going to be interested in a job internship where she's probably not going to be paid enough for a living wage? She probably have rent and sitting for pay. Would they be interested in an internship program? That's the next thing altogether. Would the internship program be paying them enough? It's an internship program. You guys need to think these things through. That's how you have to think as a marketer, you know. That's how you have to think as a marketer, because sometimes you're the one who's going to have to help the company figure these things out. A 35-year-old probably would not be interested in an internship program that don't pay them a wage. But Trisha Marcelia says 18 to 35 mentees. I'm just going off what she says. She said that's why we target them while in school or the dropout. Nothing in this club tell me. First of all, guys, am I the only one who think this club is a uptown people club? Una not realize that this is a uptown people club? Which uptown people club you know cater to dropouts? Una not realize by now that this club is a prestigious club, a big luxury club for high-end uptown high yellow people. Guys, una not reading in between lines, you know. This they miss you guys. Una see that? Okay, well, me no want nobody tell me about dropouts then. We're clearly targeting a very specific demographic. Clearly. Well, the mentor, sure, but because if you're a C-suite executive, you're making money, right? So clearly, but a club like that, think about it, a club like that is attracting people who are making bank, who are considered upper middle class, upper middle, probably even rich. Who do you think they want to be a part of their club as mentees? Notice them talk about, promising up and coming young women. Which promising up? First of all, are they even paying attention to people outside of their circle, guys? Remember we said, when we're looking at target audiences, we're looking at demographics, psychographics, behavioral, and geographic. Are these people even paying attention to what's happening outside of their social circles? Are they? Are they? How many of you can go and join the Ligani Golf Club? How many of we can go join the Ligani Golf Club? Thank you, Yannick. Thank you very much, Yannick. Because that's exactly how these things go. That's exactly how these things... No, you guys are thinking on the target the rich parents them for sponsorship because them probably work a rich place or have connection to big CEO or big place, and then you can use the parents to get money for the club. That's how the Campions and the St. Andrews and the what are some of these other top high girls skills or high schools? How you think them fundraise? Immaculate. I don't think these people fundraise, guys. Parents and parents networks and connections. Isha said she thought the club, so why can't you have both? Why can't you be impactful and still profiling?
So I'm gonna show up people. I was really thinking from a space where you wanted to really help people.
Because you're
That's not
thinking
just
about
rich people.
you, and
Right.
you're not paying
And
attention to
I
what the
appreciate
club
that.
was saying to you. Guys, let's
I
look
get
at
that
women.
now.
We inspire women and girls. Not be profiling these people though. Be a bunch of them dressed up in a pretty flowers frock. And sit down and talk about the goodness of Jesus and how Jesus helped them make a ton of money. What is the impact of that? The founder, she goes and she talks to schools. She goes into the schools and she talks to the young girls. She does mentorship. She does all these things. So these big fancy brunches are fundraisers. She's both impactful and high profile. There's nothing that says these two things are mutually exclusive. It's just impactful for who? That's the question. Impactful for who? But your target audience is your target audience. There's nothing that says you have to target everybody. In fact, you shouldn't be targeting everybody. You guys have to read between the lines and look at the words that are being used and what they're saying. Dr. Edna Pearl, first woman CEO. 30 first of all, the fact that the club only has 30 members should tell you that it's very exclusive. It should have given you an indicator that it's quite exclusive, and that it is only C-suite level and up should also tell you that it is very exclusive. You guys feeling what you guys feeling? You guys feeling what I'm putting down? Are you guys understanding? Imagine this was we inspire women and girls that you're creating this strategy for, and you bring this go give them. What do you think them would I say? I never said that there's only 30, they're only taking 30 members, but I'm wanting to say there are only 30 members and all of them are C-suite. And those two things together should tell you about how exclusive this club is. If you, Isha, if you had gone and present this to the management of We Are Girls, we inspire women and girls, what do you think them would have say?
It would have been different because I know who they are.
But Isha, do you know more about We Inspire Women and Girls than you know about the Lignum Vitae Club?
They would have a presence online. I would be going through their bio and the information that they have on there and be able to move from that.
But isn't that what I would have said that you guys were supposed to have done to help you with the assignment? Look at other similar institutions and organizations and what they're doing. Isn't that what you were supposed to do?
So I'm working from a space where these are actually women who have arrived in their company or who are in higher spaces in a company and want to take other women with them and other young persons with them. I didn't know it was going to be based on class or if you're rich or whatever. I thought you just wanted to help other women. But now I'm getting clarity from you.
Isha,
I appreciate that.
Isha, you are doing a marketing course, specifically a digital marketing course. How you personally feel about it is highly irrelevant. And if that sounds terrible, my apologies. But if your client is a rich upper class brand business, you have to market to the target audience that brand will be relevant to, regardless of how you feel about it. So what you are doing is taking the information you are given and creating a strategy for that specific client. The Lignum Vitae Women's Club. So I don't want anybody telling me that, well, I thought you were given the information, and I went as far as to give you a sample document. And I even said to you guys, if I were you, what I would do, the first thing I would do is research similar clubs. Research similar clubs. Look at what they're doing and how they're doing it and use that as your base. Guys, did I dream that or did I actually say that? I typed that into the chat and I said that in class. Was I dreaming or did I actually say that? Only can remember me, you know. Remember me if me said that or not. Only remember me now, please. Did I say this or was I dreaming it? Only remember me saying this? Isha? Anybody in the chat? You remember in the WhatsApp chat?
I did look at some of the things that you presented in WhatsApp, but I'm telling you where I'm coming from, Kada. So if rich people club come to me and say, all right, this is what we're trying to do, I'll be able to work from that because it was clear to me, says rich people club.
So
I
you
honestly did it. I honestly, no, man. Kada, I hear you.
So in the course outline, you wanted me to say
rich people club.
Okay. So in the course outline, you wanted me to say the Lignum Vitae's Rich People Club. Is that what you wanted me to say?
It might have worked for me. I can only tell you
Okay.
where I am, and I
All right
appreciate
then.
what you're doing now. Thank you.
All right, Isha. Thank you guys so much. You can stop presenting now. Okay. Isha says she did not read the course outline and it did not occur to her, click to her that this was an exclusive kind of high-end club. And I want to know, because in my mind, the only other thing I could have put that would have said exclusive high-end is if I was to say the Lignum Vitis Rich People Club. That would have been the only thing left for me to put. And now I am worried because is it that you guys don't know how to read between lines, or is it that you guys don't know how to decipher? I don't know. Because if you saw a Gucci ad without the word Gucci, you probably wouldn't know it was a Gucci ad, but it would have probably occurred to you that this is probably expensive. This is probably high end and it looks expensive. So it's probably going to be expensive without the word Gucci there. Any other group would like to present today? Group 7 had said that they were ready. Group 7? Andreen? Andreen, are you presenting for group 7?
Oh, his name is Andre.
Andre, sorry. Are you presenting for group 7?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let me make you okay.
All right, so let me.
Guys, did you understand what we just went through just now? Did you understand? Because I in my mind now I feel like I would have done the assignment for you guys. But do you understand what we just discussed, what we just went through? Because we established several things just now. Guys, do we understand what we just went through? Do you understand? Okay. Are you ready, Andre? Please go ahead.
Yeah, man. All right, so good morning, everyone. All right, so for the objectives we have 4 of them. One is to increase awareness of the
Andre,
purpose.
do you have a fan on?
Oh yes. All right, let me turn it on. Is that any better?
A ton.
Okay. All right, so the first one is to increase awareness of the purpose of the Lignum Varieties Women's Club. Second one is to attract and engage new members, both mentees and mentors, to the club. The third objective is to drive traffic to the website through call to actions from email and social media campaigns. And the fourth one is to craft emotionally connected information in the subject line of the newsletter to improve the open rate of the newsletter. In terms of KPIs, we have 2 broad KPIs. One is awareness, which is to gain 1,000 new followers on our social media platforms within 3 months. This will be done through scheduled emails and social media posting. Second KPI would be to gain 600 new subscribers within 6 months in our on our newsletters mailing list. We'll be focusing on adding mentees, mentors, and sponsors. For the metrics, in terms of the first one is engagement, reach, and awareness. This will be done by monitoring and analyzing likes, comments, shares, and as well as the rates of the followers within the first 3 to 6 months period. The second one is to increase of membership and sponsorship. This will be done through tracking the subscribers through a mailing list and also the click-through rates from our call to actions. In terms of target audience, we have two main target audience. The first one is in regards to the mentees, which is 18 to 30. Second one would be mentors. We put it at 35 to 60. For the platforms, primary platform would be website and newsletter. Secondary platform we chose was LinkedIn and Instagram. In terms of the broad topic for the website, would be topic pillar would be benefits of joining the club. For the newsletter, was focus on messaging around relationship building. For LinkedIn, it will be mainly testimonial type videos. And for Instagram, it will be female empowerment messaging. A breakdown of these now. Let me show you. For website, we have 3 ideas for how this can be broken down. One would be, hold on a second, I'm getting some interference. Yeah, sorry about that. Just some weak passing. So in terms of breaking down the broad topic or content pillar for the website, we have the About Us, we have the Contact Us, and the Services. What that would look like with the About Us section is to be text and information, text and image based, centered around the formation of the Women's Club and who will benefit from the Women's Club. For images, we'll be using images of like early club meetings as well as recent club meetings. For the Contact Us section, that would be a form where we'll capture mostly biographical data from persons such as name, age, phone number, email address, and so forth. The form would also allow persons to indicate whether they're interested in being a mentee, a mentor, or a sponsor. Under the services heading, we'll be focusing on some of our programs that Women's Club will have. Maybe programs such as our own leadership, teamwork, and so forth, skills development, and so forth. All right, so moving on to the newsletter. For the newsletter, the broad topic of or content pillar of relationship building, we will break it down into ideas such as short stories from mentors, where they will share their mentorship experience, a mentee before and after, as well as outreach or social responsibility calendar of events. How that would, the form that would take in terms of the short stories for the mentorship, for the mentors with mentorship rather, it will be mainly text and image based, where an example could be, meet Stacy. She is one of our mentors at Lignum Vitae Women's Club. Then we'll have a bit of information on Stacy's early business life as a business leader, as well as a mentorship experience which impacted her life. Some of the images we would use would be like a professional headshot of Stacy, an image of Stacy probably starting out her business, as well as Stacy coaching a mentee. For the mentee before and after, text and image format as well. An example could be meet Jessica.
Andre, I don't mean to cut you, but is this the website?
Oh no! All right, this is the newsletter. The website was, let me go back. The website was an About Us section, the Contact Us form, as well as information about some of the services that we offer, that the club offers.
Okay, I'm not understanding. So why are
Go
we
ahead.
going into this?
Okay, all right,
Because
so
it's content ideas, types, and formats explained. So why are we
yes,
going into about us, contact us, services?
all right, let me go again. So the broad topic, the content pillar was benefits of joining the club. And then now we brought that down now into
Sorry, the
yes,
broad content pillar was what?
benefits of joining the club.
Why would that be a content pillar?
Oh well, I'm assuming that if you see a club, then most likely you're going to want to know what is in this for me.
Okay. Guys, what did we say a topic pillar was? Let's help out Andre. What did we say a topic pillar was? Remember when we looked at let me see if I can pull up the let me see if I can pull up. Anybody wants to help out? Andre, what did we say a topic pillar was? Core ideas surrounding the purpose of the club. Well, yeah, in this instance, a broad topic from which you can take subtopics to develop content around. But what is the purpose of this? What are you developing this content for?
Um, I guess the thought process was to shed a bit of light as to how the club works in particular. Yeah, to give persons information about the club so they can make an informed decision to say, hey, yes, I want to be part of this.
What the content is surrounding. Guys, what did we say a topic pillar was? Because the topic pillar we said was the same as the content pillar, right? So what did we say content pillars were? Because I think you guys, so there's the content pillars and there's topic clusters, okay? Anybody else? Andre, what did we say content pillars were?
All right. Okay. Content pillars would be like an essential theme that you can use to drive a content creation and to
For a
break
specific
that down into
brand, right?
yeah.
So
Yes.
that's the key, guys. The key is it's themes that you're creating for your specific brand. And out of these themes, you can pull smaller topics to create content that you're going to use to promote your brand, to build awareness, whatever the objectives are, right? So it's themes. And we said these themes are arrived based on maybe what your brand has expertise in, the industry that you're in, the specific products or services. So this is where these broad topics or pillar topics come from, and it's called a pillar topic because these are foundational content or topics that you're going to create for your these are foundational content or topics that you're going to use to create content for your brand, right? So now, having that in mind, going back to what you have here as a topic pillar, Andre, how does benefits of joining the club? How is that a theme, a central theme, or how is this relevant?
Well, yeah, all right. Not to mention I guess it's more suited for like maybe a topic cluster instead of a pillar in itself.
So if guys, how could we turn this into a topic pillar? No, the benefits of joining is not a theme. How is that a theme? How is that central? Guys, remember now, it's not just what makes sense to you internally, but what would make sense to your audience, right? How can we turn this into joining the club? So, Andre, give me one example of a benefit. What's one example of a benefit?
I guess it could be career advancement.
So now the topic pillar would be career advancement, wouldn't it? Because benefits can be multiple things. So from those multiple things, you can create themes, right, Andre?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. So the topic, the pillar, the foundational topic would be career advancement. You could probably be a little bit more specific about the type of career advancement, and that would be a core theme. But just saying benefits of joining the club, every club has benefits to it, right? That alone in and of itself is not core or foundational, because your benefits might change tomorrow. But substantively, if what the club is trying to do is help young women advance their careers and get into leadership positions in businesses, now you have pillar topics. Make sense, guys? Make sense, Karen? Make sense, Andre?
Yes, it makes sense to me.
It is too broad, and it is so broad that it's not foundational. It's not substantive enough. It has to be very specific. Because remember, what do you have expertise in? Career development. You don't have expertise in benefits. You have expertise in career development. And so one of the ways you can develop topic pillars is by looking at what is your core expertise of your brand. So if you have 4 major benefits, those 4 major benefits in of itself could be foundational, because it must have come from somewhere. It must have come from either your brand expertise or something that is core to the brand. That's how you would have come up with the benefits, no? Andre?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. So if you have one benefit is career advancement, one benefit is network building, one benefit is job prospecting, one benefit is internship. These are 4 foundational topics, because you can create multiple topics around internships, multiple topics around job placements and networking and whatever. So the benefits in and of themselves is foundational, but saying that benefits, but putting that all together and just saying benefits of joining the club, that is not foundational. You're just describing something. You want to be very specific with your topic pillars. They must be foundational to your brand or business. Make sense? Andre?
Oh yeah, man. It makes sense to me.
Good. Okay, so what is this platform website here? First of all, Andre, can you zoom out of this? Zoom out a little bit.
All right.
Oh, because at one point you look at one document. This is not the sample document I gave you guys?
No, what happened in our group, we created our own and then in interest of time, we chose to continue with it rather than to edit it in your sample.
Guys, the instruction was to use the sample document. That was a core instruction. That was a primary instruction. So I'm not sure what this is, but the instruction was that you use a sample document. So you guys have to use a sample document. Is this a spreadsheet?
Yes, it was a spreadsheet, but I exported it as a PDF for ease of navigation for me.
Guys, I cannot mark a PDF document.
Oh,
There's a
no man,
reason why I would have given you the document in a particular file format.
no man. The PDF is for me presenting now.
It's for presentation purposes. Okay, guys, you need
Yes.
to go back to the sample document that I gave you. Copy your information and put it back in the sample document I gave you. If you're in a school or college and they give you something and they say you need to do it this way, you can't decide unilaterally as a group that actually you're going to do it in a different format. That alone will get you a 0. If they say APA format and you decide you're going to do Chicago format, that's a 0 because you didn't actually do the assignment. You get me?
Yeah, man.
Andre?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I
so
got you,
let's
I
go
got
to
you.
your content ideas. I don't understand why you guys did it this way, where you have services, contact us. This looks like you're laying out a website to me. And then down below
Okay.
that you have, so is this one idea? Because you have 1, 2, 3, then you have 1, 2, 3, then you have, so oh, this is a different, oh, so the top one is for the website.
Yes.
Ideas about us, contact services. How is that ideas? How is that content ideas? What about us? What about the contact? What about the services? How is that ideas? What I'm asking you to tell me is what you're going to put on the website. These are pages. These are navigable pages, but what's the content that's going to be on the website? What is the website going to be focused on? What are you trying to do with the website? That's what I need content ideas for. So if you say to me that the website is for information purpose, so you're gonna have on the website you're gonna talk about the founder. Maybe you're gonna do a web series through the website, or you're gonna be posting. Maybe the website is a podcast based website. You're gonna be posting podcast episodes, or that's what I mean by content ideas for the website. Johnson, you have your hand raised. Do you actually want to say something? Are you a part of this group? No? Okay. You get what I'm saying, Andre?
Yes, yeah, man.
What
I
I need you to
understand.
tell me is the type of content that you're going to be putting on the website, not how you're going to lay. Because
Okay.
this looks like wireframing. And wireframing, guys, is just pretty much the layout of a website. I don't need you to tell me the layout of a website. I need you to tell me what the website is going to be about. What's the content you're going to put on the website. So if you're saying the main purpose of the website is what? That's what you need to tell me. And then what are the content you're going to post on that? Email, newsletter, short stories of mentees, mentee before and after, outreach, social responsibility. Okay, fine. Scroll down to the other one.
Yeah, let me do that. Oh, yeah, this is it. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is it.
Secondary platforms, Instagram. So LinkedIn, testimonial videos. That's the topic, Pillar?
Well, yeah, that's what we have
That's
there.
not a topic, Pillar.
Yeah, man, I realize.
Okay. So you guys have some work to do to kind of figure this out. Can we go back up to your objectives?
Sure.
All right. So you have to attract and engage new members, mentees. So guys, this is what Andre's group, this is group WhatsApp. So this is what group 7 did, guys. Pretty much what they did was they took the business goals and turned them into objectives. Now, while that is a bit lazy, I actually don't mind it. I actually don't mind it because it's kind of like a working smarter, not harder kind of thing. A little lazy, a little not creative, but I don't mind it. What I don't understand is what is meant by craft emotionally connecting information in the subject line. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's an objective. I don't know what any of that means. Drive traffic to the website through call to actions from email and social media campaigns. How are you driving traffic to the website from email? To attract and engage new members, mentees, and mentors to the Kingdom Mighty Club, I think that, guys, honestly, I think you should have an objective for your mentees and an objective for your mentors. Trying to lump them into the same category will run you into problems because these are two very distinct target groups. To increase awareness of the purpose of the Lignum Vitis Women Club is the same thing as just to increase brand awareness. So you guys have separated KPIs into two, not sure why. You have awareness. Guys, explain to me, Andre, how is it that gaining 1,000 followers is increasing awareness? What's the correlation?
Well, okay, the thinking would be to gaining more followers would mean more eyes or more visibility to you to the messaging. That's the thinking behind that.
So it's awareness about your brand message.
Yes.
So is it automatic that because you have 1,000 new followers, that means they get your brand message?
Oh, no, but it would mean that a percentage of them, maybe 20% would get it, and that would be 20% more than what we
So your
will have.
KPI is to convert 20% of your followership to something then, isn't it?
Oh, yes, that would be right.
That would be your KPI. Because if the target is that you want to convert 20% of your traffic from social media to your email, or 20% of the traffic coming from your social media want to convert to email subscribers, that's a KPI. That's a target.
Oh, yes.
But the target is not to gain 1,000 new followers. That's a tactic. The tactic is to gain 1,000 new followers. What are you going to do with those followers? How can gaining 1,000 new followers help you reach any of those business goals? Well, one of the business goals is to have a higher open rate on your email, which means you probably need to call your email list, because maybe you have people on your email list who are no longer interested in your brand, and you need to get fresh people onto your email list. And one of the ways you're going to do that, one of the targets you're setting for yourself, is a 20% conversion rate.
Yes.
Make sense, guys? Make sense, Andre?
Yeah, man, it makes sense.
Right. So when you tell me that you want to gain new followers, that sounds to me like an activity.
Okay.
Because there's no guarantee that 1,000 new followers will convert to anybody on your subscriber list. But if you're saying that you want to convert 20% of the traffic coming from your socials to your website, you want to convert them to email, that means that is a funnel you're creating now. And the funnel is you do the awareness through your socials, right? Have strong call to action, which you have there, pushing them through to your website with your looking at your click-through rates, pushing them to your website and making sure that the website is converting. So when they land on the landing page, do they know what to do next? What are you telling them? Where should they go? Is it easy to convert? Is it easy for them to navigate so you can convert them on the landing page? And guys, you can literally Google how to make a landing, conversion on a landing page, or how to make a landing page, how to increase your conversion rate on your landing page. You can Google that. But that would be a better target to me, or that would sound like a target to me. And guys, there's this thing that I see you guys do where you equate followership with awareness, and that is not the case. Not because you have 1,000 followers means that is awareness, because brand awareness means more than just them know say your brand exists. It extends a little bit further than that. I can know your brand exists and don't know what your brand does. Guys, what does Xerox do? What does Xerox do? Everybody here knows Xerox is a big brand. What them do at Jamaica? What Xerox Jamaica do? Andre, what Xerox Jamaica do?
I would say sell printers.
Do they? No, they don't.
They don't. Okay.
No, they don't. What Xerox Jamaica do, guys? It's a call center. Thank you, Kever. It's a call center. They're a BPO. You see, say you knew what Xerox was, but you actually didn't know what they do.
That's true.
That's the point I am making. Brand, not because people know that your brand exists means they know what your brand does. So awareness is layered. It's not just one layer. The first layer is them knowing that your brand exists. The second layer is them understanding what your brand do. The third layer is making your brand relevant to them. There's levels to this thing, as they would say. Awareness is not just one thing. Because then you have brand awareness, you have brand association, where they associate your brand with a particular thing. You guys associate Xerox with paper. But Xerox Jamaica is a different thing. Xerox, the multilateral company, one of the products they make is printer paper. But that's just one of the things that they do. You guys are in the chat going back and forth about whether it's a call center and who bought it out instead of listening to what I am saying. The point I am making is most people know what Xerox is. More than that, don't know exactly what they do. And I can think of several brands like that where you know the name of the brand, you've seen the branding all over the place, no clue what they do. And I'm sure you guys can think of several businesses like that where you've seen the brand, but you're just not quite sure what the brand does. Somebody says Proven. Proven is an investment company. Derman is a venture capitalist, if I'm not mistaken. They're venture capitalists. But most of you guys would know that. So that's the point I'm making about awareness, guys. You keep equating more followers with awareness, and that's not the case. More followers doesn't equal awareness. Awareness is not just I know your brand name. Okay, guys? I hope that point was established. That point was established for you, Andre?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Definitely.
And then you have consideration. I'm not sure why you have consideration, because you said to gain 600 new subscriptions within 6 months. That's not what consideration is. This would be more conversion.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Because
yes.
if you're looking at a funnel where you have awareness, say you're looking at the IDA model,
Yes.
right? So you have awareness, sorry, AIDA, I keep saying that. So you have IDA, awareness, interaction, decision, right? So
Yes.
the consideration part is the part where they're contemplating whether or not they want to become customers.
Yes, yes.
That's the consideration part. So this consideration part would be when they click on your website. Because at the point of clicking on your website is them wanting to find out more. That's a part of the consideration, isn't it? But
Yes.
when they put their names in the thing and them email and them click submit, that's conversion. Because the whole point, the target was to convert.
Yes.
So this is not consideration. If you're gaining new subscribers and the target was to gain new subscribers, that would mean you would have converted.
Correct.
So you guys need to fix that. Tracking metrics, engagement, reach, and awareness. Okay. Increase of membership and sponsorship. Okay, fine. I don't have a problem with the tracking metrics necessarily. Again, guys, lazy. But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I just think you guys need to think it a little more. And guys, this is the thing, and I'm going to say this. You guys may not like my delivery. And honestly, I'm okay with that. But I want you guys to pay attention to what is being said. Because you spend time getting so annoyed because I could have been softer or sweeter or more delicate in my approach. When first of all, I'm dealing with adults. I'm not dealing with children, I'm dealing with adults. And second of all, the frustration that I'm feeling in my mind is justified because as I keep saying, I would have asked you guys any questions about the assignment, anything you want me to go over, and then nobody says anything. And then I get something from you that clearly means you're not understanding something. And then when your response is, well, that's what the group decided, or well, that's what we discussed in the group, I mean, if all I have to go on is what is written or what you tell me, then that's all I have to go on. If I'm trying to probe and say to you guys, how did you come up with this? And all you're going to tell me is that that's what the group decided. And that's what you guys discuss. Realize that that has given me nothing to work on. Because then I kept saying to you, what was the thought process behind that? And the response was, that's what the group came up with. And then the group is upset because I wasn't more delicate or gentle. When I don't even know why you guys came up with what you came up with in the first place, because all I can get is that's what the group came up with. Or well, I had something different, but the group decided. How is this helpful to me or even helpful to you? And then you go in your groups and complain that I was harsh. I cannot win. I really cannot win. So I am okay if you disagree with my approach, but I want you guys to listen and learn, because I'm sure the persons who were participating would have learned something. But if you get stuck in the, oh, well, you could have been nicer, you're not going to learn anything because you're upset that I wasn't nicer. Just wanting to put that out there. Andre, I think this was a good effort.
Thank you.
Certainly with the objectives, KPIs, and tracking metrics, but I don't know what you guys did down at the second part right down there. So I don't. That website one, I don't know what that is. Scroll down a little bit more for me.
All right, sure.
Email newsletter, not so bad. I like the ideas actually. I just think
Let me scroll over. Yes.
text meet. I mean, if it's email newsletter, I suspect it's going to be mostly text with some images. But guys, you also need to look at how images. Remember when Anna was here and Anna talked to you about putting images in emails, and she's saying that it's just better to go with text and some images because image size could affect open rate too, because if you open it and the images don't load or it take too long to load because the images are too big, people are going to just go anyways and go back to their business, right?
Oh yeah.
You have
Is it?
to put that in mind. What's that?
Oh yeah. Wait. All right. Sorry to cut you off. Just a bit. All right. So like all right, for persons with like graphic knowledge and stuff, like if the image is too large, most likely the resolution is too high. So probably like 72 resolution would be good, and then like no more than like maybe 600 pixels in dimension, or no, sorry, no more than 600 would be good.
Right. So yeah, mentor before. Guys, when I'm asking about content for email, I'm not necessarily even asking about images necessarily. And guys, I want you to think outside of the box. I want you to think outside of the box in terms of email content, because guys, remember what Anna said when she was talking about email content and we were discussing the types of email content, free mini webinars in emails, free courses, workshops in emails. There's so many things you can use your emails to do. Like within the email, they can get a free webinar, free course. I know back, I saw one, I was subscribed to a particular, it's a podcaster that I found. She talks a lot about social media, etc. And I subscribed to her email list. And she actually did a 4-part webinar series strictly through email, which means that only persons who were on her email list could see the videos because the videos were embedded in the email. She didn't use YouTube because anybody could find YouTube. So there are sites that you can put your videos on that nobody can access it unless you give them permission to, and then you can embed that into your email, which means that every time a lesson came out or another part of the webinar came out, I just went to my email and I could watch the video in the email itself. And it wasn't an issue to open it because it was embedded in the email. It wasn't uploaded to the email, if that makes sense. So guys, think creatively about how you can use email to be more attractive. So guys, who would the email subscription be for? Would it be for the mentors, the mentees, or the sponsors? Who would you guys be targeting with your emails? Because I'm sure I would have asked you guys about target audience. So who are you guys targeting with your emails, Andre?
All right, yeah. In our group, we had two target audience, which is the mentees and the mentors.
Okay.
Yes, so those are the persons who would target with the newsletter.
Okay, so who are you targeting with the newsletter? Mentees or mentors?
Oh, all right. It's a bit of both because with idea one, it's about mentors. Idea two, we will about mentees.
You think 16-year-olds are going to be checking emails for email subscription?
So that's a fair point. It's a fair point right
You
there.
guys, generally in the chat, guys, do you think 16-year-olds check emails? 16-year-olds don't necessarily check emails. Now, if they are part of a club at a school, the club has an admin person who checks the emails and then distribute the information to the teenagers. But I doubt very much that the teens are going to check the emails. So maybe your email should be targeted towards maybe club leads at schools, clubs, school clubs, or other service clubs who could also double as sponsors, those service clubs, to parents of these teens who would more likely be checking the information, and to the mentors, right?
Yes.
So you can segment your email campaign as well, because notice they didn't say why, they just said that they have an active email newsletter. But the email newsletter can be segmented. Remember, in when we're talking about email marketing, we talked about segmenting your emails based
yes,
on your audience. So you could have one set of email newsletter going to the mentors, one going to the parents, one going to the schools and clubs.
Yes, correct.
So you have to make sure that you're creating content that is relevant to the audience. And that's why segmentation of audience is so important. And you should also segment them in your email. Guys, do you guys remember that email marketing session? Guys, you remember that email marketing session when we talk about segmentation of audiences on your email list? Any email provider, any email marketing provider will give you lists where you can actually put, because this is the thing. And this is another thing about why your KPI should be more about converting, because that it depends on how you're getting them to the website. Suppose it's a lead magnet that you're putting out. Suppose it's a promotion that you're putting out. Suppose is a talk that you gave at a school and you had sign-ups there. You need to be able to identify where this audience is coming from and how they got to you. So if you did a lead magnet, or which is like a free, maybe a free webinar, the free email webinar, you don't want to be emailing people after the webinar about specific things relating to that. But it's the people then when did that the school thing you that talk to. These two audiences are going to be confused as to what you're talking about. I never signed up for no webinar, sir. So you have to segment your email list so you know exactly where this person on this list was coming from. Because how you marketed to them would have been how you marketed to somebody else on another list. Make sense, Andre?
Yes. Sorry, I'll admit to it. Yeah, man, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. So you have to know where your audience is coming from. So if your audience is coming from social media and the target is to convert 20% of your web traffic to email, you need to know what you need to do to be able to convert somebody who will come from social media, or somebody will come from Google, or somebody where they come from a sign up at a school event, or somebody where they sign up because of a lead magnet, or somebody where they come to one of your free webinars. You need to know where they're coming from, because that will help you understand how to convert them. Because if it's a free webinar, that means that them come based on the topic, which means that they're interested in this particular topic, which means that you probably have to go do something around that topic to convert. Yes?
Yeah, man.
Make sense?
Yes.
All right, Andre, thank you. Which other group wants to jump on quickly? You can stop sharing, Andre. Cavell.
Right. Thanks for your time.
No problem. Your group wants to jump on, Cavell? Cavell Smith, your group wants to jump on?
Yes, miss.
Which group is this?
Can you hear me?
Which group is this?
Group 6.
Group 6. Okay, all right. Let me. Okay, Cavell. Oh, anytime you're ready, Cavell. Cavell, are you ready?
Yes, miss.
All
Can you
right.
see my screen?
I can see your screen now, yes.
All right. Gotcha. Okay. Just give me a second. I feel like the Zoom and this is too much.
You just need to zoom out. See the zoom. You see where it says 100%? Just click on the drop down and click 75 or 50 and it will zoom out. You can click 50 if you want to zoom out a little bit more. And then you can just use a slide at the bottom to slide it over. You see that slide at the bottom? Come over. Come over, down. Right, you
Okay.
see that? Just drag it
Okay.
over. There you
Cool.
go. Okay.
All right. I guess with this now, I can put it back to 100.
You're going to run into the same problem.
I can just slide it over.
Okay, all right, cool.
All right. All right. So this is what we have found for group 7.
For group 6.
Sorry, group 6. Sorry. As we said before, that these would have been the goals for the organization, for the club. And out of these goals, we came up with 4 objectives, which would be 4 specific things that we could do to achieve these.
Okay.
So we say here that we would strengthen the club's online presence, and we'll do that by putting the club on 4 social media platforms: YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. And the purpose of that would be the intention is to get more persons to interact with the club's brand and to increase traffic to the club's website by 300 visitors, and increase its email list by 100 persons within the next 3 months. 3 months is our time period.
Wow, you have like 2 KPIs mixed into this objective. So what's the KPI? Because I would argue that that 300 increase traffic to website to 300 and increase email list sounds like KPIs to me.
Yes, and based on what the previous presentations, I realized that I could basically edit this to separate them.
Right. Guys, just bear in mind that targets are like end goals. So you wouldn't start with 300 website visitors. You would have had to be doing something to get to that 300 website visitors. So that's why it's a target or like an end goal that you're trying to get to. So to get to 300 website visitors, you have to go do the social media, you have to go do all these other activities, right? So that's why. So if it sounds like an end goal to you, think about if it sounds like an end goal to you, it's more than likely a KPI than an objective. And remember specifically, the objective is digital objectives. What are you going to be doing online to get to the business goals, right? So if it sounds like it's an end result to it, then more than likely it's a KPI than it is like a digital objective, right?
Yeah, I realized that based on the other persons who would have presented.
Okay, all right then. So you're going to fix that.
Yeah, so this right here we could stop at say
you could just stop at the social platforms.
Yes, cool. The next thing we want to do is to revamp the current.
Or putting the club on 4 social media platforms is going to help you strengthen your online presence or your social media presence. Because not because you have a strong social media presence means you have a strong online presence, because social media is just one platform.
Well, when I said online, I really meant social media, to be honest.
Okay, good. Because the club of a website, the club of an email list, which also makes up a part of your online
Online presence.
platforms, right?
So I could basically edit this to be more specific to say social media then.
I mean, you could be more specific with the
Because
objective
that's what I
itself.
meant. Yeah, that's what I
The
meant.
objective itself could be more specific.
That's what I mean.
What is this objective tied to? Number one is tied to which goal?
Number one would be tied um to reestablishing and build a strong online presence.
So one of the goals, so the objective could be to reestablish your socials, because if you go back and look at the document, it says here that they have a limited presence on social media, which says what?
We mean that they have a
Camille?
social, they have something like social.
They already had
Sure.
socials,
Yeah,
right?
True.
And so that's why it is reestablished, right? So you want to reestablish your socials. They probably haven't posted for a while. So you actually want to, what you call it, resuscitate your social media platforms and start actively posting on socials. That could be an objective. So guys, your objective needs to be specific. And I see somebody had said it earlier, that your objective needs to be SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant to the goals, and time bound.
Okay. So
So that's that. So you can fix that. Let's move to number 2. Revamp current email system. What does that mean?
Meaning that I would examine what is currently the email mechanism that the club has, and see how we can make improvements if it is that we need to work on their subject line, to work
Right.
on type of
How can
content.
we make this objective more specific?
To, I guess we could say the specific things that we could do.
So one of the specific things you could do is what? What is like the main thing you're trying to do with the email?
The main thing is to the overall game plan for the email is to, the way I understand it from the paper is that you want to improve your email list, like get more persons on your email list.
You want to get more persons on your email list? Is that what it says? It says they have an active email newsletter that is distributed weekly, but the data shows the emails, they don't have a high open rate.
Yes. So that would be well, the open rate is a problem. So the emails are going up, but people are not reading these newsletters.
Is the open rate the problem? Guys, is the open rate the problem? Guys in the class, is the open rate the problem? It's conversion. What you mean, Shaneke? The open rate is not the problem. There's a reason why people not opening it. No, so it can't be the open rate that's a problem. It must be why people are not opening the email.
Probably the subject line is not engaged, is not catchy.
Maybe that is the case. Maybe this is the case that they're not consistent. Remember, we talk about consistency and frequency. Maybe they're not sending all the emails at the same time each week. Remember, Anna spoke about that in the email marketing class when she talked about being consistent with your emails. If you're sending out emails on Mondays and Wednesdays, make sure that you stick to Mondays and Wednesdays.
Or maybe the email list itself might need updating.
Maybe the email boring.
Cool.
Maybe you have not conditioned your list to add you to their contact, so your email is not even showing up in their inbox, it's showing up in their spam. That could be a reason why you don't have a high open rate. One of the more obvious ones could be that your subject line is boring and it's not, it doesn't motivate me to click. It could be that I am no longer interested in your brand. So there could be many reasons. So one of my objectives would be to relaunch the newsletter. That could be an objective.
Okay.
To relaunch the newsletter. Because then Relaunch will then say, okay, I'm relaunching it, I'm fixing this, that, and that.
Within X
And
time.
then relaunch. I'm probably changing the email platform that I'm using. I'm probably moving from MailChimp to a platform that I can now automate my welcome sequence. Guys, please to go back and watch the replay with Anna, where she was talking about the emails and she talked about welcome sequences and automation. Maybe it is that your welcome sequence wasn't good or you didn't have a welcome sequence. So people probably sign up and forgot they sign up because them never get nothing from you after them sign up. There was no further communication. Right?
Great.
So when you relaunch now, you are thinking about all the possible reasons why people don't open your email address, and you're making sure that you're going to address the issue. Now, you guys don't have enough information. So if you are a digital marketer, you would have had to go back to the club to say, hey guys, what systems are you using? You'll probably have to go look at previous emails and look at what the subject line is, how they're putting the emails together. You probably have to go do surveys to ask people, hey, are you actually getting our emails in your inbox? So you'd have work to do to be able to relaunch, but the objective is to relaunch. You may relaunch the newsletter to segmented audiences. You may even decide not to do a newsletter altogether because a newsletter probably don't make any sense in your strategy. Remember, you're creating the strategy, and guys, as a digital marketer, you can say to a client that you don't think this channel is working for you, and I think you should drop it because you're not converting and it doesn't have a high ROI. Which means you're putting time and effort into doing it and you're not getting a return. You can tell a client that, because you're the expert. And if you go back and you look at their conversion rate, you look at the data, and the data is telling you that this platform is not performing. If it's fixed, we can say, well, we can try to fix it and then we'll watch it. But if after a certain time it's still not converting, and you guys know that you would have done everything you could do on this platform and it's still not converting, you know what that might mean? What that might mean, Cavell? If you do everything you can do on a platform and it's still not converting, what may be the big reason why it's not converting?
Probably might need to change the platform.
Why? What might be the big reason why it's not converting? Wrong platform for the target audience. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Kimberly. It just may be that your audience is not there.
Yeah.
16-year-olds don't open emails. So if you're targeting 16-year-olds with email newsletter, wrong platform for the target audience. Or you're targeting the wrong audience. Thank you, Christine and Tashika. You may be targeting the wrong audience using that platform, which is pretty much the same thing that Kimberly is saying, wrong platform for the target audience. Or it could just mean that it's just the wrong audience, period. You've miscalculated who your target audience is, which I doubt, because in a scenario like this, it's very clear, right?
Yes.
So that's what that may mean. So you relaunch your, so I would say, to make the objective more specific, probably just leave it at relaunching the newsletter. Or instead of doing a newsletter, come up with more creative ways that you can use email to reach people. It doesn't have to be a newsletter. Not because the client said they have a newsletter means it needs to continue being a newsletter. You are the digital marketer. You can say, well, in my experience for clubs like this, newsletters don't really work. But what works is if we do like club meetings, like club meetups or club link up or club limes or something, and we use email as just a way of updating people as to when, time, location. Guys, you can even be more creative and use your emails for drops. Guys, you know what drops are in the digital world? A product drop?
No.
Okay, all I did was Google product drops. Product drops are when a company releases a limited edition product line for a short period of time. It's an effective tactic for tapping into the competitive nature of consumers who are looking for unique products as momentum builds around exclusivity of a collection. Guys, which company did a product drop recently that was so controversial that the actual product sold out in seconds? Who's paying attention to what's happening online? It wasn't in Jamaica. So, for the interest of time, who knows the rapper Little Nas X? Who knows Little Nas X? Anybody knows that rapper?
Yes.
I'm gonna take my horse to the Old Town Road. I'm gonna ride until we can't no more. We got the horses in the back. That song that went, that major big tune him. The guy was sing that song there. Yes. So him team up with a collective called Mischief, which is a brand that only does drops. That's all they do. They only do drops. To create the Satan Nike shoes. That had a drop of human blood in it. It was Nikes. That had a drop of human blood in it. And the world went crazy and the shoes sold out in 3 seconds. Website crash, everything mash up. So the point I'm saying is, guys, you can use, first of all, only people who were on the Mischief email list know when the drop is going to be. Only people who sign up to their email list know when the drop is going to take place. Because, as I said, they only do drops. And what the Mischief does is they take a product and they revamp the product, or they restyle or redesign the product and then do drops. Or they come up with their own products and they drop, or they collaborate with other creators and they do drops, right? And so if you are not on their email list, you don't know when a drop is. And everybody wants to get on the email list because it's exclusive, right? This is just marketing, guys. It's just marketing. And so you can turn your email into this ultra exclusive in club that young people would probably want to get into. Because if you're doing drops, now think about it, you're a women's club. What would those drops be? What would those drops be, guys? Think about it. You're a women's club and you want to do the whole product drop thing. What would that look like? It could be limited edition art prints of Edna Pearl art prints, where you're doing something, you're collaborating as a women's club with a young up-and-coming graphic designer like Natasha Cunningham, yeah, to do a limited edition print shirt of Edna Pearl. That's a drop. Somebody says club badges, that's a drop. Merch, that's a drop. Limited edition diaries, yes, that's a drop. Limited edition, whatever it is that these teenagers looking to them have iPods, limited edition Edna Pearl iPod cases. Y'all are not thinking outside of the box. Y'all ain't thinking outside the box. And the thing is, you can run up and down, boom, flick, poopa lick, all over the place. Because there's so many ways. And in 2020, there's nothing that's off limits with marketing. Absolutely nothing. They had blood in their shoes, for heaven's sake. Which is like a tiny fraction of human blood, which really don't mean nothing. Because probably more human blood touch your clothes before you buy them anyway, because sweatshops. But the sensationalism, right? Phone pop sockets for the mentees and maybe mentors. Mentors who have them drive them big pretty car and want to prevent the sun, so they have this silver sitting in an end car Why not do some graphics for that? Why not do a car cover? A full print car cover. That could be a job. Guys, think outside of the box. Shauna K said marketers are product and event creators. Yes. Yes. So the email could just be for drops. Join our exclusive email list and get access to our exclusive products or our exclusive offers. Because if Lignum Vitae Club team up with Grace Kennedy and Grace Kennedy say, all right, only through Lignum Vitae Club I give a 4 summer internship. Imagine how competitive that would be. Only through Lignum Vitae Club are you affid upon the mailing list. Because we not put this out in public. We're gonna go to the Lignum Vitae Club for 4 girls to have internship in Grace Kennedy for summer paid internship through the Lignum Vitae Club, and you can only be on an email list to know when the application is gonna drop. Y'all feel me? Y'all feel me?
Amen.
Y'all feel me? Y'all know these women and them furry steering wheel covers? Y'all feeling me? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down?
Yep.
You guys could have free drops where you team up with Broken Plate and say, Broken Plate, listen, give us some free meals. I want to do a free drop where if you are a mentor in our club, you have to be on the list, and you can get an exclusive dinner for 2 at Broken Plate with your bae. Hey! You guys are not thinking. Broken Plate is a sponsor. I never said sponsorship had to be money. It could be in kind. Hey, sponsorship begets sponsorship. Because if people see other people sponsor on the things, guess what they're gonna want to do? They're gonna go on get in on the sponsorship act too, because that's what you call social proofing. Because if I'm on my social media and I go, next drop is an exclusive so-and-so from so-and-so. Hey. Come on now. Think outside the box now. Guys, you have work to do, group 6. I don't know what that influencer partnership thing is there. Why is even an objective? Don't even get me started on that. Because influencer in partnerships is a tactic. It's a strategy. What's the objective? What's the point?
Yeah, based on what I have there, so that we wanted to partner with at least.
Why not just leave it at brand ambassadors? Why not? Why was not the objective develop brand ambassadors or community ambassadors? Because when you say brand, it sounds odd, but if you say community, people automatically think, oh, well, they're being altruistic. Psychology, guys, psychology. Why you think a lot of brands start talking about community ambassadors now instead of brand ambassadors, or influencers instead of brand ambassadors? Because it's the same bloody thing. It's just that it's less permanent. Psychology. If you're looking for sponsorship as a club and you talk about community and developing your community of women who wants to be leaders and contribute to society and Vision 2030, you're going to get sponsors. Because this is the shit they're interested in. Because remember, guys, these are business people. They have their social responsibility arm. And if you can help them with their social responsibility, to make them look good, they will give you money. Because 1, they don't have to do it themselves. And 2, they are going to be seen as sponsoring the cause that aligns with the brand and what they have designated as their social responsibility theme for the year. And guys, let me tell you something. Women in leadership is always a sexy topic. It is always a sexy topic. Women business, women career, women small businesses, women leaders, always a sexy topic. 365 days of the year. Y'all feel me? Y'all feel me?
Yeah. Just to be clear. Yes, so the influencer partnership, we should strike that out.
I don't see what is the objective here.
Well, this would tie into the whole idea of attracting sponsors, giving the club some kind of clout.
How are influencers gonna help you attract sponsorship?
Yeah, because you find that
Social media influencers, you said. You never said
Yeah.
you never said thought leaders, you never said industry insiders, you said social media influencers. How can social media influencers help a 20-odd-year-old women's club get sponsorship?
Yeah, because my understanding is that in order to attract sponsorship, you want to give the club that impression, like, that you have some amount of clout in the
And social media influencers give so a social media influencer is gonna give Grace Kennedy the idea that you have clout?
this is not Grace Kennedy. I wasn't
Then
thinking
who
of
would
this
be
at
your
the level of Grace
sponsor?
Kennedy.
But who
Oh,
would
so
be
you
your
mean
sponsor?
oh
Who is your sponsor? Remember, say yeah, that's a target audience. Who are you targeting as a sponsor?
yeah, yes, I will target Grace Kennedy, but I thought you
So
meant
if
that,
you're targeting Grace Kennedy as a sponsor, how can a social media influencer help Grace Kennedy see you or even think you're a viable partner? Guys, you need to think these things through. You never even say an industry leader. Industry leaders have way more clout in industry. Grace Kennedy is a business. It's always about their bottom line. So how can a social media influencer help Grace Kennedy's bottom line? How can you, using a social media, help Grace Kennedy reach them bottom line? Because that's the reason why they're going to sponsor you. Whatever you're doing aligns with the brand, what the brand feels it represents, and probably what they think their social responsibilities are. How can
I
a
am
social
thinking,
media influencer help you do that?
I'm saying, if you have like a Yendi Phillips, for example, being associated with your brand, right?
If Yendi Phillips, an industry leader, a business leader, or a business thought leader, or
No, I was just
that. So it's just because she's Yendi Phillips. So it's just because she's Yendi Phillips.
So I guess the question that we should ask is, why do people want to sponsor things?
I just said it. It's about their bottom line. Grace Kennedy wants to be seen as being a community, a responsible corporate entity, and a part of that is having social responsibility programs that aligns with whatever they feel their brand represents. It's about their bottom line. But I don't think Kalila or Terry Carell could get you there either. These are not business leaders. These are not thought leaders in business. Marketers in Jamaica have a tendency to go for low-hanging fruit all the time. Low-hanging fruit does not equal relevance. Not because they're well known means they are relevant to the target audience. Not because the target audience likes them means they are relevant to the target audience. If you guys had said to me Deanne Jackson Miller, I would say, okay, maybe. Because she may have some networks. She just may be a mentor that you're trying to get. Now, when you have mentors like a Kalila, like a Terry, like a Deanne Jackson Miller, who's a part of your organization that adds legitimacy to your organization, then you may become more attractive to a Grace Kennedy, because they know that the people you are attracting would be the same people that they would work with. So there's no brand conflict for them. But a regular social media influencer just may be a conflict for them, because that brand may not align. So who you align with could also be one of the decision-making factors for a sponsor. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah, because if you are aligning yourself with people that I don't think is reflective of my brand, I ain't sponsoring nothing. Cause I don't want my name nowhere. So I don't want my put my name anywhere on that. It's antithetical to my brand. I don't know who Susan is. Right, guys? It makes sense. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying?
Clear enough.
You understand, Cavell?
Yes, I do.
So I don't know about that influencer partnership thing. I
that's
like the
like
whole
it.
idea of a community ambassador, not necessarily a brand ambassador.
Yeah.
So guys, this is how I want you this is how I want you guys to think. Outside of the box, I want you to think expansive. You guys are narrowing your own thought processes. You are putting boundaries and limitations on yourselves. Don't know why. You can go buck wild with your marketing, as long as you're making sure that you first define your target audience, and you create a plan as to how you're going to reach each target audience. There's so many ways you can do that. If you're talking to young people, how can you talk to young people and reach young people? If you're talking to mentors of a particular age, what are some of the things that they're interested in? Where would they be? How can you become attractive to sponsors? That's gonna be a function of who you associate with, what your program is about, what's the objective or the impact that you're trying to make, and how that sponsor can actually help you make that impact and in return contribute to their bottom line. Don't put limitations on yourselves. You're restricting yourselves, and you're not being expansive enough. And I don't see you guys have anything for your KPI. We're not even going to look at that because you ain't got nothing there. So I don't know how you reach analytics and insights and you don't have no KPI. So fix that.
The KPI is right over here.
Where? I only see social media traffic and conversion rate, and there's nothing on the conversion rate.
Well, I thought that conversion rate would have been self-explanatory.
How is conversion rate self-explanatory when you don't tell me what you're converting? What are you converting?
All right. So converting. If you look at the metrics over here, say the conversion of the persons who come to your website in terms of a particular call to action.
So Cavell, I was to look at your analytics and determine what you meant by conversion rate. That makes sense to you, Cavell?
I'll take that. I will not even debate that.
Exactly. You shouldn't even say that. You should say
I'm gonna take that. That is on.
Yeah, because I can't determine what you mean. It could be conversion rate, could mean anything. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you have some work to do. For persons who have not yet been able to present, I hope the presentation. So somebody said, do we need 2 KPI and 2 metric for each objective? Not necessarily, but I've seen where groups have done it, and I think it made it easier for them to kind of tie everything together. So if it makes it easier for you to tie it together, you can go ahead and do it that way. But from your objectives, you can have 2 targets and then 4 objectives that will help you get to those targets, and then the metrics that will help you track the objectives to see if they're getting into your targets. You could do it that way as well. It's how you feel comfortable doing it. I'm not asking you for 4 KPIs and 4 metrics. I'm asking you for 4 objectives, 2 targets from which you're going to come up with 4 objectives, and the metrics and two primary metrics that you're going to use to track. That's what I'm really asking you for.
I have one question before you come off like this.
Yes.
In terms of being specific in terms of a target. So we're up here. So for the first one, where I had increase in website traffic by 300 visitors, how would I put that into the KPI?
Sorry. Can you? Sorry, I got distracted a little bit. Can you repeat that?
Yes, for the first objective, where I said that we want to strengthen the online presence, right? Which we're going to fix that. I would say that in the second sentence, I said that the intention was to attract some increase in traffic to the website by 300 visitors. And you were saying that the fact that you have that number there, that sounds more like a KPI. I was wondering how could I incorporate that target into this KPI every year?
Guys, let's help Andre. How would you word that as a KPI, guys? How would you word that as a KPI? How would you word? So Kavel is saying that he wants to know how does he word so that if the KPI is to increase traffic to website by 300 visitors, how does he word that as a KPI? How would you put that as a KPI, guys? So Kavel, what is the KPI exactly?
The KPI is the social media traffic. That is what I'm going to use to know if the
how is the
social media
KPI
platforms are
social
working.
media traffic? I don't understand. All you put was social media traffic. How is that a KPI? What about social media traffic?
Yes, so I was saying that the traffic from social media platforms to the company website, that is what I will be monitoring.
Okay, that's what you're okay. So increasing the traffic from social to your company website will do what?
Will tell me, would put me closer into getting persons to do whatever call to action it is
Does it?
that I have.
Really? It does? How does getting people from your social media to your website I don't understand how
No, all
just
right.
the act of going from social media to your website doesn't mean that they're going to convert.
No, I know that. So that's why it wouldn't be like I have absolute number. That's why I have like a number. So if
You don't have a
1,000 people
number.
come,
All you have is increased traffic from social media. Now, if you go back over to your objective, you say increase traffic to website by 300 visitors. Now, that seems more like a KPI to me because there's a specific number there. You have a target. You're targeting, or your goal, the target is 300. So you want 300
no,
extra
remember,
people visiting your
I'm
website.
no, remember, I'm aware that something is wrong with this. So what
We're
is
not there. We're
severe?
going back to your objective, Kavil. And I'm
Yeah.
wanting you to look at the difference between what you said in your objective and what you have as a KPI. Do you see the difference? You have homework to do, Cavell. I cannot do the homework for you. Go and look at what I was saying earlier. Go and rewatch this.
Miss. All right. I'm gonna rewatch it.
Yes, I cannot do it for you, Cavell. If I do that
No,
for
but
you,
you see, this is
pretty
a
much
kind
doing
of sore
homework for
point,
you.
because all right, this is a document right here with 37 KPI. And see, like this one, for example, number 13, it's a website conversion. You see, a page might be visited 1,000 times, but the bottom line is that if it doesn't convert, there is no use in directing paid traffic to the site. So they must say, oh, you measure that. They say use Google Analytics.
How you measure website conversion rate. That is all this is telling you. This is not a KPI. It's telling you that a website conversion rate is a type of KPI. It's not the KPI in and of itself. It's a type of KPI.
All right.
So
So,
that is
so we're
what
getting
you
somewhere.
are mixing it up with. What this website is giving you is types of KPIs, and one type of KPI is a website conversion rate. So if you say to me that you want to increase traffic to your website by 20%, or if you say to me that you want to convert 20% of the traffic coming to your website to email subscribers, that's the KPI. It's still about website conversion.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to
But that's
understand.
exactly what I said before with Andre. This
All
is
right,
the
cool.
exact same conversation I had with Andre.
All right,
So
cool.
guys, you need to put these websites in context. The website, this article is only telling you about types of KPIs, not even what KPIs are. In fact, it don't even give you an example of a KPI under this heading, which I think is terrible. But that's all it is giving you, is saying that website conversion rate could be a type of web KPI. And I think I had that in my document as
No,
well.
yeah, I got this from the reading list.
You're right, but you need to take it in context. Just putting website conversion rate alone is not a KPI. You're just telling me the type of KPI. You're not telling me specifically what the KPI is.
All right, cool.
Remember, KPIs are values. Values meaning some percentage or some rate or some something. So somebody says it should have numbers and figures. Yes. A sales target cannot just be sell more biscuits. That's not the sales target. The sales target is sell 5,000 Dixie Peach biscuits. You get what I'm saying?
Got it.
It's still about selling biscuits. But how many biscuits do you need to sell? Or how many? What's the type of biscuit? So your sales target for the month is to sell 5,000 Dixie biscuits, 20,000 vanilla biscuits, and 10,000 this biscuits, and that will make you $2 million for the month, and that's the target. $2 million for the month by selling X amount of this, X amount of this, X amount of that, which should equal $2 million. Make sense, Cavell?
Yes, ma'am.
You sure?
Positive.
Sure you lie?
No.
Average time spent on a page is a KPI which is measurable. That could be measurable too. It's a value, it's a measurable value. That's what I had said. It's something that you can measure against. You can only measure against a value. Yes? Guys, it's after 1, but if group 12 wants to stay on and present, I don't have a problem. I can go up to 1:30 because this is important. Thank you, Cavell.
Yeah,
You can start presenting. Who wants to present for group 12? Guys, class is finished. If you want to stay back to hear group 12, then that's fine. Group 12, who's presenting for you? Let's go. Let's hurry this up, please. So can you, your hand is raised, okay. Bye, guys. Nicholas, let's go quickly, please. Ouch. Nicholas, where are you? What are we doing? So, but you can you raise your hand again, please? You're gonna rejoin as a panelist, and and you can share as a panelist. Just click the share screen button.
Yeah, you hear me, miss?
I'm hearing.
Yeah, afternoon, everybody. So this is group 12. So I would tackle this as a real life situation, right? Now, actually, our so went and create like a logo, although that was not what was expected, but went far and beyond. So here are our brand objectives. So from these objectives, we create like the four main goals, the business goals, which is the first one is plan and strategize a brand campaign where we would refresh and reintroduce the club. For example, moving it from a traditional club to a contemporary club or even luxury type club. Then the second one is drive traffic with strong online presence through all our platforms. For example, using outbound links, emails, sending people in our mailing list from the email to our website, and then using influencers as
These
well
are
as
what?
they
These are
explained
what,
earlier.
Nicholas? These are objectives.
The objectives,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and knowing that we're targeting younger audience, right? Younger generation, they utilize TikTok a lot, so we reach out to them there, organize entertaining and education activities for our target audience. So we create like a event, Boston one event, like lunch and a conference, major events where we include international female influencers at the end of each one. So therefore, members of the club would look forward to something at the end of the month, right? Then knowing that we're targeting sponsorship, so would generate one of our objective would be generating revenues since it's a non-profitable organization. We not get the money. The money is for the operation. So ways in which we can generate money is by merch, as I explained earlier, donation, charity events. We create like a level membership from free to premium. And part of our KPI, one of them is generate 100 subscribers on YouTube monthly. Also creating a mailing list of 500 more persons, increasing the open rate and the click-through rate by 70.
So the target is 100 subscribers on YouTube monthly. Why? What's the point of this?
1,000, but we open for 100 subscribers a month because say YouTube
Why is this a
pays
goal? Why is this a target? Is what I'm asking.
to generate income
What
basically.
what to generate income?
Yeah. Our
Guys, this couldn't possibly be.
as we explain up here, so generate revenues or we can fund operations.
Do you know how long it is going to take?
Understand, eh?
Do you know how long it takes to generate first of all, you have to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers to be a part of the YouTube creator program. You do know though that it's not automatic. And you
Yeah,
do know
I'm
that
unaware
there's
of that.
stipulations on the program that may disqualify you from becoming a part of the program.
Repeat that one. Miss.
I said you do know that there are stipulations that may disqualify a club like yours from being a part of the program. Did you guys look at what the qualifications are to become a part of the creator program?
Research other similar clubs like this, but not necessarily that aspect where limitations are included.
Okay.
You heard?
Thank you, Andre. I don't know how you guys are planning on generating enough watch time to become a part of the creator program. This is not.
I'll get
think.
it as a
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
as it relates to the watch time, it all leads down to how interesting our content would be. So
No, it doesn't. You guys clearly don't understand YouTube, and if you don't understand a platform, I wouldn't put it in there because it has nothing to do with how interesting your content is. There's a ton of content on YouTube that is interesting. A ton. And they still don't have 1,000 subscribers. Very few. The percentage on actual creators on YouTube that actually make money, decent money on YouTube, is extremely low. So I don't know why you guys decided to do this to yourself. I don't see how this would benefit Lignum Vitae Club. And Lignum Vitae Club is your client. So how would a strategy like this actually benefit your client? And in how long? How long is it going to take you to generate 1,000 subscribers, a high enough watch rate, a high enough like count, comment rate? How long is it going to take you guys to do that, to be able to qualify, just basic qualifications for the program, much less all the other things that you're going to have to go through to qualify for the program? And then if you are a not-for-profit organization, there are certain things that not-for-profit organizations cannot do. How are you going to receive funds from YouTube? Where's that money going to go? Can you even receive money like that as a not-for-profit organization? Because I'm sure it did say that it's a not-for-profit organization. You guys realize that not-for-profit is a specific business registration or company registration. In order for you to be seen as a
Yeah, I did
not-for-profit,
mention
which is
that.
pretty much a charity organization, you're gonna have to go through the company's office and register through the company's office, which is a long, tedious process. And with that, there are stipulations as to how you can actually collect funding as a not-for-profit or a charity.
So basically, what would we include the funds is for operations at events. That's how we fund it. You have to pay for venue and all
So
of
that
stuff.
means that you are going to have to
And then our
wait until you
second-
get to 1,000 subscribers until you make enough money to be able to hold events. Is that what you're saying?
Waking up.
Give me an example of a club like this that is making money on YouTube.
I can't say off my head right now.
Okay. So that means
But
you
we
guys
did
didn't do the
research
research
a few.
then.
We did research a few. I can't say right now.
Okay, so you didn't do your research.
So
because
basically, you're saying
if I was
this
Lignum
objective is
Vitae
not
Club
reached.
and you came to me with this and I said, okay, do you guys have any examples of other clubs being able to do this successfully on YouTube, and you tell me that you can't think of any right now, how would you expect I would have responded? You see what I'm saying? Anyways, you are doing fine so far until we got to the KPIs. I don't know, your KPIs are messy. It needs to be fixed. Affiliate at
How
least
about the
15
second one?
influencers and brand ambassadors to help get 300 members to join the club by the end of... Here you guys go with your influencers and affiliates. Oh, how is using influencers going to help you get members to sign up? And what is the affiliate program that you're running?
I explain it in the metric section where
You cannot
we will
explain
give.
that to me in the metric section. How are you explaining that to me in the metric section? You're telling me it's a KPI. I don't expect to go to the metric section to understand what
Yeah,
the
but
KPI is.
how we become affiliated is where each ambassador will get a code to use for members to sign up.
You're telling me how you're going to track it. And I'm saying to you, I'm not asking about how you're going to track it. I'm asking about the KPI and why you would have come up with that as a KPI.
The question?
Why is that why is that a KPI?
You ask a question, all of them is?
Why is that a KPI?
The whole affiliated 15 influencers?
Yes, why is this a KPI? Because again, this sounds like a tactic. This sounds like a tactic to me. So the KPI, if you go back down, is you want 300 members to join the club by the end of the third quarter. That's the KPI. The rest of it is the tactic you're going to use, or one of the tactics you're going to use to drive, to push towards your target. But I'm not sure why it's here. And I still don't know why this is a tactic, but that's for you guys to explain to me. But all right, so you need to fix that. Yeah? Yes? Yes? Do you understand what I'm saying, Nicholas?
Yes, miss.
Okay, great. And you are telling me that your primary audience is unemployed and self-employed females. First of all, we have labor laws in Jamaica that prevents children from working. Do you know this? So how you have 12-year-olds right here so as unemployed and self-employed? I am breaking up?
I think it's on my internet.
We have labor laws in Jamaica, Nicholas, that prevents 12-year-olds from working. Why would you have 12-year-olds here as unemployed and self-employed females? What does that even mean? And 12 to 60, you realize how ridiculous an age gap that is? As a primary audience, and this is just one audience, 12 years to 60 years? Really? What does a 12-year-old and a 60-year-old have in common? Except the fact that they're females. All right, so you're gonna fix that, right, Nicholas? And then you have high school female students, and then right below that, 12 to 60 years. Hold on, is this 5 different groups on the primary audience? Is that 5 different groups on the primary audience, Nicholas?
Yes, miss.
All right, Nicholas, you guys have some work to do. I don't see how you can have 5 very distinct groups, and the group meaning audience, under your primary audience. Make that make sense for me, Nicholas. How did you guys come up with this?
So basically, where we're targeting 3 different groups, which is the mentee and the mentor, right? Plus the sponsors.
Yeah, but that's not right here. So, because on the primary audience, you have 5 very separate and distinct group by themselves. Because college and tertiary is a different group than high school is a different group from unemployed or self. First of all, unemployed and self-employed, 2 different groups right there alone. Then you have female business officials. I don't know what that means, but certainly that means somebody who's working, which is a different group. And then you have aspiring female entrepreneurs. Again, don't know what that means. You guys have work to do with your primary audience, and please to go and Google what primary audience. And notice you have audience, not audiences, which means one grouping. You have 5 on the primary audience, 5 very different grouping. And you have the same thing on the secondary audience. You have 4 very separate and distinct groups there as well. So if you are separating it by mentees, mentors, and sponsors, then you need to identify the audience for mentees, mentors, and sponsors. If you're going to say
That's what
to
we
me,
didn't do.
that's not what you did, Nicholas.
Yeah, that's not all. Yeah.
If you're going to say to me that for mentees, we have 2 groups of mentees. We have, so for mentees, we have a younger group, which are high school, and then we have a older group, which is college. The younger group is 16 to so. The college group is 16 to so. And it wouldn't be primary audience, it would be audiences, because that's 2 audience.
Yeah.
And then you can have a secondary audience group, which is the mentors. And you could say, okay, I'm going for mentors who work at, probably not even work at, you're looking for a mentor. And you that one you don't even have to stress yourself about, because I would have said it. The members are all C-suite level professional women. I would have already said to you what the target group was. Because if you want to attract more people to the club, then clearly you're going to be attracting people who the club wants to engage. And clearly the club wants to engage C-suite level professionals, right? And then for your sponsorship group now, you can even target companies. You can even say these are the companies we're targeting. So you guys need to go over look at this again.
The reason why we brought down the age to 12 is because up here we explain where we will target secondary and tertiary education will create like internal clubs, right?
You're not targeting the clubs, you're targeting the people in the clubs. Right. So the people in the clubs are what? Teenagers between a particular age groups, not so?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Can you scroll down to platforms and content? Your primary platform is Instagram. Why?
Short form content where easily explained, straightforward. Advantages of a short form content. So that's why we use Instagram. And
then how is it that YouTube is a secondary platform when you're relying on YouTube as revenue? For revenue.
We actually add it instead of the email and the website. Last night I would decide to change it.
You decided to change it?
Yeah, reason why we changed it.
So where's your group? The group decided to change it, or you decided to change it?
We did collectively. We had a meeting last night.
Okay.
The reason why we switch it with the email and the website is because they said that we need to have one of our primary platform need to be owned. That's why we switch it around.
Women are the future. Okay. Do you think women are the future is an attractive campaign topic? So this theme topics is what? The topic pillars?
Yeah.
Guys, I wish you guys would stick to the document I gave you. First of all, this is like a PowerPoint presentation. This is not the document I
It's for
gave
the
you, guys.
presentation purpose.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's
women
a
are the
typical-
future. What's the point of women are the future? How is that a core topic to your brand? And then you have podcasts with different female guests.
Yeah.
Like any females or
No, not just any female. Like,
but that's what you
female
have. You
shows.
said podcast with different female guests. So you never
You
say
see?
who these guests
You
are.
see, this is one of the things we struggle with. Like, if we should explain. All right, for example, that
What
there's
is the
women-
podcast about?
All right, actually, I have a page. We made a page. Example.
What is the podcast about?
Like how we help out other females with their business
What is the
journeys.
podcast about?
I just say
Okay, so you don't know what the podcast is about. So in your discussion, nobody says so a person who says, you know what, let's do a podcast. Nobody says, okay, what would the podcast be about and who would be talking to and who would be talking on our platform, on our podcast. But you guys never discuss that?
yeah, we have an example.
You have an example of the podcast?
Like the idea of what.
Okay, show me the example because I find it odd that you have an example, but you right
It's
here
not- it's not
can't tell
our
me
personal
what the
one, it's
podcast is
like-
about.
We don't own it.
Nicholas, if you I am Lignum Vitae, you're telling me that I think you guys should have a podcast. And I say, okay, interesting. What would the podcast be about? And you can't tell me. I mean, Anika, the podcast could be about so many things. There is fertile
Yeah.
ground. Fertile ground.
That's-
Right now, if I go on Google and Google women leadership podcasts, thousands are gonna pop up. The problem with Group 12 is Group 12 have really great ideas, and Group 12 is really good at segmenting and thinking through, but they don't go into details. They don't think through the details of what this means and how this connects to things. So what Group 12 has done is just put some ideas down on paper. And as great as the ideas are, they cannot represent them, and that's a problem. So what I'm going to say to Group 12 is great ideas, really good ideas. You guys now need to make those ideas make sense to the brand. That's what you guys need to do. Because I don't know why you guys went ahead and create this page and tag Sagicor in a fake
It's not.
page.
It's not. No, it's
Who
not the
does this?
official page. It's not the official page.
Why would you tag Sagicor on a fake page?
It's not the official page.
What is not official? What do you mean?
The tag. If I should click it right now, it's not the official one.
Okay, click on the Sagicor tag.
I think it's Surgical Jamaica or something like that. See?
So the page doesn't exist.
It's just like because some of our group members were struggling with the whole idea and the whole, so what I wanted to do is like create a real life scenario as they already given us, right? Make it be more realistic. So not sure if I failed there.
Group 12, you have good ideas. I see where a really good effort was made. I am impressed by your objectives. I thought your objectives were good for the most part. I like how you've laid everything out. You have even given me things that I have not asked you for. But what I'm asking you to do is focus in on the ideas and develop them. You've just put them down on paper. You've not developed the ideas. So when I'm asking you questions like, what is the podcast going to be about? You cannot tell me. When I'm asking you questions like, how is an affiliate or an influencer program going to help you? You cannot tell me. So that's a problem. That's a problem because you can't just give me ideas. The ideas have to make sense to what it is that you're trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yeah, I agree.
So, great ideas. Love how you've laid it out. Clearly, you guys are thinking what you are not. Guys, let me tell you something. Please stop using people images in these things, especially if it's a fake site. You can actually get in problems for this. So, you could have easily well used stock photos. I understand this. I understand Coffee. Coffee is a public figure, not so much Nicole McLaren. Be careful how you guys are doing this. This is cool, it's cute and all, but you
Yeah.
guys seem to be more interested in the end product than actually the strategy. That's what I'm picking up. You would have gone as far as to create a platform, but you can't tell me what your podcast is going to be about. You can't tell me how you're going to develop your YouTube channel so you can actually get revenue. You can't even tell me if you qualify for revenue. All right, guys. So I need you to focus less on the output, the graphic design and the sexiness. And I want you guys to get more detail about the boring things. And the boring things is to make the strategy make sense for what it is that you're trying to do. Because all you've given me is themes and topics. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good effort.
Maybe it's because I'm nervous.
But what is, no, it's not a matter of nervous. Nicholas, what is the podcast about?
All right. So the whole
And why
group
would you
thing,
have a green carpet when your branding is purple?
it's below purple and green.
Yeah, but if the predominant color is purple because it's lignum vitis, so why would you have a green carpet? You see what I mean? When I'm telling someone to think things through. Y'all not thinking things through. You're putting together ideas. You're putting the ideas on paper in a very structured way. Congratulations on that. But you can't explain nothing to me. What is this fun facts going to be about? Is this one of the content ideas?
Yeah. So basically,
Nicholas, stop clicking on links. Is this a content idea?
yes, it is.
Nicholas, can we go back? Stop clicking on links. It's taking forever to load. Anyway,
Alright.
can we go back to the document? Okay.
It is.
And this fun facts about the lignum vitae is what? What objective is this attached to?
Basically, what I wanted to do was pull away back from, make it more interesting.
What objective is this attached to?
Then we go to the objectives. Objective number 1.
It's a brand campaign.
Reintroduction. Okay.
Are you asking me?
No.
How is this a reintroduction? First of all, what do you mean by reintroduction?
Reintroducing the brand.
Right. So how does fun facts help you reintroduce the band? All right, group 12, as I said, you guys have a structured document and you have topics and themes all over the place. None of it comes together. And you can't even tell me how any of it comes together, which means that you have some work to do. Get rid of all the fluff and the pretty and go back to the boring stuff. Actually think things through and connect them. First of all, you have way too many things happening here, so way too many things. Too many points and point A and point B, and none of it is connecting. So go back, Some of these things you can get rid of. This is what I want you to do. I want you to pare this down. This is too much information, too much going on. I want you to pare it back. Follow the instructions that I gave you. I asked you for 1 content pillar and 3 content ideas. Clearly, the content ideas must be coming from the topic pillar.
Yeah.
Right? Just give me the 3 ideas I ask you for, and make sure that you can tie this back easily to your brand objectives, to your targets. Yeah? So that's the homework for you guys to do. So you guys have put a lot of things on the paper.
Well, that was
This
all
look
really-
like just look like a mapping document to me, where you're just mapping out your ideas. No, I
That was
actually
the
want you
point
to
of
do
it,
the
though.
assignment. What's that?
Yeah. I'm saying that was the whole point of it, where we
No,
put
I want
everybody
you to
in
actually
position.
do the assignment now, where you're
Yeah.
actually telling me how this makes sense with this, why this is this is the topic pillar, these are the content I'm going to be creating for this content pillar, this is how this ties back to my brand objective and my KPI, and this is how I'm going to measure it. That's what I need you guys to do now. So great, I've now seen your ideas. I think some of these ideas are really good. Put them in do the assignment now.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Nicholas. Good stuff. All right, guys. I will see you on Monday of next week, where the groups who didn't get to present today can present in our tutorial session next week, Monday. All right. All right, guys. I will see you over in the groups. If you have any questions, drop them in the group. Ask questions, please. All right, guys. Bye.